Alright. Alright, it says we're live. I need you guys to help me in the live stream chat. Let me know. Am I coming through nice and clear, folks? Is my voice coming through nice and clear? Yeah, boy. You are my unofficial producers. The live stream chat. You're the ones letting me know. Is this coming through clear? So, let's go and take a look here. This is johnlebon.com, John LeBon Late Night Truth Lounge. Yeah, boy, we've got a lot to talk about today. We're talking about the NPC meme. Now, or the NPC idea. Now, this is going back 5 years, folks. Here's the thing. Tomorrow, I'm recording a podcast here in Tallinn, Estonia, with the main man himself, Hando, who runs telegram.ee. Very well known. In fact, some of you guys will have no idea about this. Estonia is this small little country, 1.2 million people, 1.4 million people. It's literally less than half the size of Melbourne, Australia. Okay, so the city that I grew up in, this country has less than half as many people as the city that I grew up in. But it's officially a country. They've got their own language that nobody else speaks. It's a very bizarre thing. Anyway, in this little country, there's a guy called Hando, and he is like the Alex Jones of this country. And tomorrow he wants to record a podcast talking about the NPC theory. So this afternoon I went back and looked at all of my research into the so-called science behind the NPC theory. Because that is how this whole thing got popular. There was a scientific study, supposedly, that showed that most people don't think, internal thoughts. So I went and looked at that study and blah, blah, blah. So today I was revising my notes, getting ready for tomorrow's podcast on this topic. And we're going to talk about all of that and so much more. We're going to talk about... Are we live? Are we live? Yes, we're live. It says we've got some people live. It says we've got YouTube. Let me just zoom in here for those of you who are watching live at home. By the way, I'm coming to you from... I'm live on location here, folks, here in beautiful Tallinn, Estonia. Where else would you want to be than beautiful Estonia in the middle of November? What is it? November 8, 2023? In the middle of November, in this country, the sun sets at 4 p.m. Can you imagine? Can you imagine leaving your hotel at 2:30 p.m.? Let's say you slept in. You slept in, but you got up, you had a shower, you got your little laptop, and you decided time to go for a walk to a cafe. So you sit down at a cafe at 3 p.m. or thereabouts. And by 4 p.m., it's dark outside. There's no sun. It's all gone. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that? There is a whole bunch of people, not just Estonians, Swedish people, Latvian, Lithuanian, Danish, I guess some of them as well, Finnish, Icelandic. I mean, there's a whole bunch of people, folks, and this is their life for 4 or 5 months a year. They get to work, and the sun is gone. The sun comes up for a little bit. By the time they finish their job at work, the sun is gone again. Can you imagine that? Really, it's very strange to me. But this is how they live. Yeah, boy. So we've got with us YouTube. Says black people think holding back the... I don't know what you're talking about, YouTube. Est1983 says... Okay, guys, give me something useful here, folks. Give me something useful. I'm trying to read out your live stream chat comments here, folks. Give me something worth reading out. Goodness gracious me. Yeah, boy. Ardman says, having little spliffs with some homegrown pineapple kush. Listen, man, if you're growing your own herbs and you smoke it, you have a good time, you're enjoying yourself, I think that's cool. I personally don't promote alcohol or drug abuse. I don't think it's necessarily good for you. But in saying that, I might have just sampled myself a little Koenig Ludwig Weissbier Naturtrub. What does it say? Con-English. Is this even Estonian? Is this from like Germany or something? Where's this from? Let's have a look. Says on the back. No, it's German. So I'm here in Estonia, but I'm drinking a German Weissbier. Okay. So who am I to judge other people who need the substances to get through the day? It's a hard life, folks. Without the substances, what have we got left? Alright, so YouTube says, I'm white and I don't like reggae. But honestly, if I put Bob Marley Bob Marley on, I could listen to that all day long. Guys, my live stream chat is full of stoners. It really is. I'm not proud of it. I wish it wasn't this way, but this is how it is. Rob Files says 5x5. I don't even know what that means. Guys, how come my live stream chat is full of people who are clearly all just bonging on? They're just bonging on. And what they're talking about means nothing to me. Like, no offense, folks, but what the hell are you talking about? What is this, man? What is this nonsense? Alright, anyway, so we've got lots to talk about today, folks. We've got lots to talk about. Let me know in the live stream chat. Is the audio coming through alright? Guys, they're not even listening to the... They've got no interest in this live stream chat. Anyway, I got some great quotes, and we'll talk about that. We got some Twitter action. Might talk about that. Got some notifications. Yeah, boy. Ooh, Estonia explained. Here's what we're gonna do, folks. In the live stream chat, let me know if the audio for this video is coming through the same volume as my voice. If there's a slight difference, it's not a big problem. But if I'm much louder than the video, or if the video is much louder than me, that's a problem. So, let me know in the live stream chat, is this coming through roughly the same volume as me?
The northern jewel of the Baltics, or the southern jewel of the Nordics if you ask themselves, where the medieval meets the digital, and where the forests are as dense as their Wi-Fi coverage. A country where everyone lives in the same place, and where you fight wars with singing. This is the Silicon Valley of Europe, where everything is done online, even becoming a citizen. So let's pack our bags and travel to Estonia. So where exactly is Estonia? It's located in northern Europe, hugged between Latvia, Russia and the Baltic Sea. It's part of a region known as the Baltic States, along with its neighbors Latvia and Lithuania. Being the smallest of the countries, it is about the same size as New Hampshire and Vermont combined. So Estonia holds a population of about 1.3 million people, making them the 155th largest country in the world when looking at the numbers of people living inside the country. And they're taking the prestigious 129th spot when it comes to size, with a little over 45,000 square kilometers. Now, a very interesting fact here is that about a third of the population lives in this tiny area in and around Tallinn. And I mean, there's nothing spectacular about capitals holding a lot of people, but a third of everyone, that's quite unique.
Yeah, but even then, what is a third of 1.2 million people? It's 400,000 people. That's like the size of Plovdiv. And Plovdiv is, of course, the second largest city in Bulgaria, which is where I have been living for the last few years. But here's the thing, I'll tell you this. This city, Tallinn, is way more advanced than Plovdiv. And I love Plovdiv, guys. You know I love Bulgaria. I'm not being silly. I really do. I'm very grateful that I live there. I think it's great. But to go from Plovdiv to Tallinn, similar size in terms of population, very similar, but the infrastructure and just the, like, what's the word for it? Infrastructure's not right, but the general appearance of stuff here in Tallinn is so much more advanced and modern than Plovdiv. Plovdiv really is, in terms of aesthetics, the way it looks, very run down compared to this place. So, similar sized cities, but, and I love Plovdiv, I love it, and I live there, and I plan to live there for some time, but Tallinn is modern. You feel like you're living either in the future, or at least in the present, whereas Plovdiv is, it's a bit run down, and it's not so modern. So, Tallinn is, I've been here before. Here's the thing, I was here last year. For some reason, I don't remember the disparity between Tallinn and Bulgaria, because they're both Eastern Europe, aren't they? They're both former communist countries, supposedly, and they're both relatively, I mean, the minimum wage here is double what it is in Bulgaria, supposedly, according to the official story. This place is officially more advanced economically, okay, but still, the gap between this place and Plovdiv is really quite remarkable. So this place is very modern, and yeah. Anyway, let's continue with this. What else is this guy saying?
And the reason for this is both geographical and historical. You see, all the way back since ancient times, the coastal regions around here have had a huge role in trade and communication, something we will look into soon. And to understand the geographical reasons better, we need to look closer into the landscape of Estonia. And it might be perfect for picnics, but not for living. As forests cover over 50% of the land area, and 22% of the land is covered by bogs. So less optimal for large-scale farming or building a home, but excellent for one of the most popular activities for both locals and tourists, called bog walking. The country also has over 1,500 islands and more than 2,000 lakes. Maybe it is a Nordic country after all. Okay, so what's with this joke about Estonia wanting to be a Nordic country? Well, besides it's a cooler thing to be a Nordic country than to be a Baltic country, at least in the eyes of the world, there's also a lot of good arguments that Estonia loves to talk about. First,
I know who this guy is. I think a lot of what he's saying is in jokes for other Nordic or Baltic people, which obviously I'm not, so whatever. Let me know in the... By the way, it's a cool video. Who made this? Countries Explained. Very well made video, I have to say. So let me know in the live stream chat. Can you hear what I'm saying? Does any of this make sense? I need you guys to help me in the live. Okay, that's a replay. Now, guys, can you hear me? Is that guy's audio, the guy that you just heard, is it coming through the same as me? Klaus Huxley 33 says same volume, all good. I'm glad to hear that. Cubstar says something about stoners. Ardman says that the video is louder, about 20%. Thank you. Let me just go and adjust my audio. Ah, there it is. Yes. Alrighty. We'll just... The stream went bog walking, says Cubstar. Yes, indeed. Guys, check this out. I got a fucking backup plan, don't I? I got a fucking backup plan. Yeah. It says we're back. What is going on over here, folks? Let me know in the live stream chat if you can hear me. I'll be back live on the air. Where else would you want to be than other than Tallinn, Estonia? 4 degrees Celsius maximum in November. My goodness. Can you guys hear me or not? Cubstar says that you're back. Alright. Oh, I'm back, am I? I'm back. Alright. Let's talk more. Okay, so guys, here is the idea. If you live in Estonia, I put my phone number, my Estonian phone number, in the show notes below. Send me a message or give me a call after, let's say 2 p.m. Give me a call. Let's make a plan for Thursday. We'll catch up for a coffee, go get some food, maybe a beer or two. Why not? What's the worst that could happen? Let's do it. And as Ace says, are you back? Yes, you're back. YouTube says people are nice. It's stuck in the past, but that's why it's good. Okay, so let's go back to this little Estonian video just to make sure that we are... I don't want to talk to myself. What else has it got to say for himself?
First, there are cultural and language ties. Estonian, which is the language spoken in the country, is closely related to Finnish, something that has helped to share cultures between the two. The historical connection...
And you can just get a ferry. It's like a short little boat ride. Which I haven't done that yet. But actually, maybe I should do it. If there's no Estonians here on Thursday, because there has been a couple of Estonians who've left comments on my videos over the last few years. But if none of them are free on Thursday to catch up, and I've got the day free, I might catch a boat to Helsinki. Why not? It takes like an hour. Why don't I just go to Helsinki on Thursday? That's what I'll do, folks. Either I will meet up with Estonian commenters on my YouTube channel, like people who follow my YouTube channel who are Estonian, which I know there's some. Either we're going to catch up on Thursday, or if I've got the day free, I will get on a boat and go to Helsinki. That's a good idea.
Connection we will get in.
I just thought of that just now.
Too soon, but in short, both Denmark and Sweden have ruled over parts of the country in the past. Then there's the fact that the Nordic countries rank high in things like happiness and quality of life, which Estonia sees as a good model for running things. And as a former part of the Soviet Union, Estonia has...
Yeah, but how do you rank that? How do you rank happiness? Like, think about this. Are there some countries where people are happier than others? Sure. If there's like 200 countries, of course some are happier than others. How could that not be the case? But how do you go about ranking happiness? How do you go about it? If it was me, if you said to me, listen, JLB, we've got a new mission for you. We're going to give you, I don't know, $100,000 for 1 year. That's your pay for the year. Your accommodation, everything's covered. Here is your mission. countries are the happiest and which are the most depressed. The first thing I would go to is the statistics for suicide and attempted suicide. That's the first thing I'd go to. Then the second thing I'd go to is substance abuse. And then the third, well, one of the top things I'd go to is medication for depression and other things. Like, those are the metrics I would base these opinions on. So that's what I would do personally. So these people, I'm not a sociologist and I'm not a happyologist. But if I was, that's what I would look at. So these people who say, oh, this country's the happiest or that's the happiest. Okay, what are they basing that on? I honestly don't know. Maybe I should write an article about it. I should do some research and write an article. Is happiness a hoax? That's what I should do.
Since its independence, looked to close its ties with Western Europe and the Nordic countries by joining both NATO and the European Union. But here's the multi-million-dollar question.
Look at the snow, dude. Imagine living this for 3 months here. Goodness gracious.
Could you consider yourself Nordic if you don't have Nordic weather?
No, I don't consider myself Nordic, and I don't have Nordic weather. Just a few months a year of miserable cold weather in Plovdiv is enough to make me want to jump off a bridge.
Not sure. You see, Estonia has a...
But that is beautiful. Look at that, man. This image, I'm telling you, this is from summer. It does not look like this in the winter. But in the summer, this place is look at that. That is beautiful. When the weather's good here, this place is an absolutely... I mean, look at that. That is a postcard picture image. Yeah, so in the summer, this place is absolutely beautiful. Look at that.
Mix of
That's like something out of a movie. Look at that.
maritime and continental climate, making it quite warm, at least compared to the other Nordic countries. But make no mistake, this place gets cold.
Yeah, I'm not making any mistake, dude. I'm the one saying that this place is cold. I'm the one saying that.
And the lowest temperature ever recorded in the country is minus 43.5 degrees Celsius, so basically a normal summer day in Finland. But let's get to the bottom of all this.
See, whoever's making this video has all these in-jokes for other people from the Baltics or the Nordics disaster. I think my CIAs is conspiring to stop me. I think this is a CIA plot to stop your main man JLB from bringing you the truth. Your main man JLB just wants to bring you the truth about how they're turning the freaking frogs gay, and my CIAs is trying to stop me. That's what's going on here, folks. All of this internet cutting out and ruining my stream, this is a plot by the Illuminati to stop your main man from bringing you the important truth about how Tallinn is a fucking cold city. And if you come here, you won't bring some warm clothes, folks, or bring some cash to buy some warm clothes. Okay? Either bring warm clothes or bring some cash to buy them. Because you don't want to be walking around in 3 degrees Celsius, 36 degree freedom units weather without a warm jacket and some warm pants, alright? Take a tip from your main man JLB. You don't want to do it. It's not worth it. Don't even think about it. Alright? Take it from me. Okay, where were we? Oh, yes. We were talking about Estonia.
In 1991, in Estonia, Latvia and Lithuania. The people looked for a friendly way to get independence from the Soviet Union, and in one of the most iconic events ever, the Baltic Way, 2 million people from 3 countries joined hands to form a 600 kilometers long human chain.
Is that true? Is that a true thing? A human chain of freedom? I first saw this idea in The Simpsons, which, by the way, I was born in 87, okay, so people my age, we grew up with The Simpsons, and a lot of ideas or historical events we were first exposed to via The Simpsons. Now, I know that sounds ridiculous, crazy, insane, fine, but that's actually how things were. For example, I first saw The Simpsons parody of The Shining before I saw The Shining, and I was a kid. And then one day, I was like, I don't know, maybe 10 or 12, I can't remember how old I was, and I was watching SBS, which was like it was the 5th free-to-air channel in Australia. Back before we had Netflix and streaming, we used to have to watch TV that was broadcast to our antennas. And anyway, Australia used to have 3 free-to-air channels. channel 7, 9 and 10. And then there was 2 other channels called ABC and SBS. And one night, I was watching SBS, and there was this scene of a guy sitting at a bar, and then the bartender was talking to him. And I was like, I was a kid. Remember, I was a kid. I was thinking, are these guys ripping off The Simpsons? Because I had seen the parody of The Shining by The Simpsons many times before I'd seen the actual Shining. To the point where I didn't even know that the Shin was ripped off from The Shining. Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you here? So I'm trying to work out how come this movie is like The Simpsons. Only later did I realize, oh no, The Simpsons ripped off The Shining. Anyway, the point of my story is, a lot of my exposure to different ideas came through The Simpsons. I know that sounds crazy in this day and age. And so these people are talking about like, hands across America. But it's not hands across America. It's hands across the Baltics or something.
This showed the Baltic nations' unity and desire to be independent from the Soviet Union. And on August 20, 1991, the revolution led to Estonia's independence. And man, has a lot happened since then. Today Estonia is like the Harry Potter of the digital world, as it is one of the most advanced digital societies. And it's not for nothing that it's often referred to as the Silicon Valley of Europe, as they have had one of the highest numbers of startups per capita on the entire continent, with super successful companies being built here like Skype, Bolt and TransferWise. But it's not only the startup scene that knows.
Alright, enough from me for a second. Let me go and check this out. This is what I was talking about, folks. So, this idea of people holding hands across a country, which could be real, like maybe they really did do that, I don't know, like, okay, fine. I'm not saying it's real or not real, all I'm saying is the idea of it is very amusing to me. And the first time I was exposed to this idea was from The Simpsons. Check this out.
Across America was a complete success.
What the hell is this?
Across America was a complete success.
Oh, it's not even a full clip. What's meant to happen is they're meant to say, hands across America. And it's got, what's his name? Ned Flanders and his wife in the lounge room of The Simpsons, and Homer's the one guy not making the hands. How come they don't play the full clip? Why is this not working? Alright, let's try it. What if I Google... by the way, I've already tried Googling this. Let's try one more time. Hands across America, The Simpsons video. There has to be something. No, there's nothing. It's giving me nothing. This is ridiculous. Well, folks, you don't have to believe me, but I'm telling you that there's some episode of The Simpsons where they do Hands Across America. And so when I hear this guy talking about Hands Across Estonia, that's what I think of.
Its way around a computer. You see, the country as a whole is a world leader in digital governance, with 99% of its public services available online, all through their developed platform called Estonia. Talk about putting an E in Estonia. They were the first
Guys, that is typical Baltic humor, by the way. Let's watch that again.
Its way around a computer. You see, the country as a whole is a world leader in digital governance, with 99% of its public services available online, all through their developed platform called Estonia. Talk about putting an E in Estonia.
This guy who made this video, I don't know where he's from or what his background is, but I'm guessing he's from this rough part of the world. They're lovely people. Once you get to know them, they are the most beautiful people. There's no... You know how in our countries, like Australia and America and stuff, people are putting on a front. They're trying to pretend that they're this or they're that. They're like, you know, how do I explain this? People are trying to front, that's a word for it. People are fronting in our countries. In Estonia, okay, I'm not an expert. I've only been here 2 times. I don't really know the place. But based on my experience, the people here are not fronting. They are what they are. So once you get to know them, you're talking to the real person. There is no, what they call it in like psychology, like super ego and like there's none of that. They're just, you're talking to that person. There's no putting on a show. That's a very special thing. It really is an amazing thing. It really is. Compared to our country. Most of you guys are Australian or American or English, right? They're not like that here. It's like, They're hard to get to know them. They're very distant when you first meet them. But once you get to know them, you're talking to the real person. You're talking to that person. They're not trying to impress you. They're not trying to put on an image. It's just who they are. Can you imagine that? It's a very special thing. And I kind of forgot that until I came back here. And I've only been back here for like 24 hours or something. It's all coming back to me. It's been a big 12, 18 months since I was last here. Are we still alive? Or they cut me off again? Have they cut me off? Alright, let's go and take a look at the live stream chat. Alright, 20 people watching live all around the world. Let's go and take a look at what they're saying. Yeah, boy. Dave J says, maybe make a travel log. Dave J, that's a great idea. In fact, thanks to your idea that you just gave me, that you just said, I'm going to do that. I'm going to show you a little travel vlog of my hotel. Take a look at this. It's Joe B coming to you from beautiful Tallinn, Estonia. And where else would you want to be than right here, up north, where the sun sets at 4 p.m. in the afternoon. Take a look at this. It's a beautiful, balmy 5 degrees Celsius maximum during the day, which is about 40 degrees in freedom units. That's the maximum. Overnight lows of about 2 degrees Celsius, which is about 34 in freedom units. And boy, oh boy, has my main man Hando taken care of me. He has just gotten me a beautiful place. Look at this. Now, what kind of people want a big TV screen in front of their beds? This is very strange to me. But apparently it's popular, so I've got a big screen in front of the bed, and I've got another big screen over here. Yeah, boy, couches and beds and all kinds of wacky carpet colours. When I got here, I thought, man, who chose the carpet colours? Who the hell chose... I mean, look at this. It's reds and oranges and greens and blues. This hotel has this same carpet colour all over the joint. And at first I was like, this is very strange. But then I found out that the carpet in the hotel comes from some kind of Estonian national costume. So I thought, fair enough. But then I saw this other thing with this other explanation. And I realised it's the same friggin' explanation. So my best theory about this is whoever was contracted to install these explanations about the carpet, they printed more than they needed. So at some point someone's like, hey boss, we've got too many carpet explanations. And the boss said, just put 2 in one room, just double up. So yeah, we've got double the fun here explaining the crazy carpets in this lovely hotel room. I'm staying here in beautiful Estonia. Now here's the thing, if you are in Estonia and you want to catch up on Thursday, let's have an impromptu catch up. Me, Hando, and all of the lovely Estonians who like to question what we think we know, let's do it. What do you say? And then here's some more good news. We're going live. We're going live in 5. Link in the info box below. Late Night Truth Lounge. Let's do it, folks. Let's do an impromptu Late Night Truth Lounge. Yeah, boy. Tuesday night. Your main man, JLB, coming to you on a lovely... Hey, you want to see the bathroom? Let's check it out. Ooh. Look at this, folks. You get yourself... I mean, you get that's standard. And you get a bath. You get a... Goodness gracious me. Look at this shower. Oh, I had a shower this morning. It was... Or this afternoon, I should say. It was fantastic. All the water flow you could possibly want. You get 2 sinks. You get, not just one sink, you get 2 sinks. Oh, it all comes standard. What is this? Oh, a hairdryer. Very nice. Yeah, boy. Hando taking care of me. Now, what am I doing in Estonia? I'll tell you all about that and so much more. First, check that link in the info box below. We're going to go live, folks. Late Night Truth Lounge style. Yeah. On another beautiful day. Another gorgeous day here in Estonia where the sun goes down at 4 p.m. in November. Oh my goodness gracious me. What a time to be alive. So that is the little promo I made to promote this here live stream, this Late Night Truth Lounge. This one might go down. I might change this one to unlisted. We might not include this one. There's been a few technical issues where the internet just cut out. And I don't think it's my internet. I think the CIA is fucking with me because I went from the hotel internet to my Estonian prepaid internet, and both of them had the same problem. And the only explanation is that the CIA are afraid of me getting the truth out. Guys, they're afraid of me telling you the truth. So they're trying to stop me, folks. The CIA is trying to stop me from telling you about how they're turning the freaking frogs gay. That's the only explanation for what's going on here. There is no other explanation. My CIA's is trying to stop me from getting the truth out once again. That is the only way to explain these technical difficulties. Yeah, boy. Shit, motherfucker. Alright, so what's going on? Let's go and check the live stream chat. Oh, we got a massive crowd in for this one. My goodness gracious me. Take a look at the crowd. You've never seen such a big crowd in your life. This is like filling out Wembley right now. Let's take a look at this. Alright, so YouTube says 30 minutes after watching Schindler's List, that was one of the most boring films I have ever seen. A week after watching Schindler's List, wait, was that one of the best films I've ever seen? Well, YouTube, I've never seen Schindler's List, and I don't plan to watch it anytime soon. No disrespect to... You know, my heart goes out to the families, folks. You know, millions of people perished in the 1940s in Europe. And my heart goes out to the families. It really does. It's a very sad situation. And my heart goes... Do they have anti-Semitism and Holocaust denial laws in Estonia? Do they have those? Let's err on the side of caution. My heart goes out to the families. My heart goes out to the families. Yeah, boy. YouTube says, JLB, you are a globetrotter. Well, you know, listen. Someone says to me, bro, I want to talk about your history hoax theory. I want you to present it to my people at a conference, and I will pay for your airfares and your accommodation. Just come and tell the people about the history hoax. Probably I'm like, you know what, thank you, but no thank you. But if your name is Hando from Estonia, I'm like, you know what, whatever you say, boss. You're the man, I'll do it. You want to come there? I'll come there. I'll come there. You give me the tickets. You tell me when to turn up to the airport at Sophie International, and I'll be there. Because you're Hando. You're the main man. I'll do it. Why not? What's the worst that can happen? What's the worst that can happen? Alright, Mike Lawrence says, I live in Azag. Azag? What the hell is that? Never heard of it. Alrighty, so guys, now it's time to get about 20%. Thank you. Is the internet stopping me again? No? Are we still live? Are we even online right now? Goodness gracious me. Let me go and check my my studio. Let me go and check my studio. Actually, you know what? While I'm checking my studio, I've got an idea. What we were meant to talk about today was the NPC meme. And I want to play for you guys a video that I made 5 years ago. Today when I was doing my research, getting my notes ready for this interview we're doing tomorrow, I realized, holy shit, folks. My material on the NPC meme 5 years ago was better than anything you're gonna find today. I'm serious, guys. And if you don't believe me, fine. Take a look at this and come back and tell me that I'm wrong. This is the NPC meme, Is It a Hoax? From October 2018, 5 years ago, folks. Take a look at this, goodness gracious me. This is from 5 years ago, folks. Is the non-player character theory a hoax? You've heard about this, the NPC idea. It's been pretty popular online over the last few weeks, but it goes back much further than just the last few weeks. And for those of you who aren't aware, it basically goes like this. There are a bunch of people saying now that perhaps a lot of the humans who we are surrounded by... Man, that version of me, this 5 year ago version of me, I love him, he's a great guy. The younger John Le Bon, the 35-year-old John Le Bon, good guy, love the guy. But damn it, he sounds so Australian, man. Are in fact non-player characters, or at the very least, their behaviour can be accurately modelled by the concept of a non-player character. So in other words, the people who are promoting this idea, what they're saying is that you might be able to think for yourself, you might have a soul, or you might have the capacity for your own thinking, But the people around you, many of them, do not. And so the consequences of this theory being accurate or being fair are that it should really change the way that you interact with people. Why would you try to interact with a non-player character the way that you would interact with a creature who can and does think for itself? So that's the... So what I think that version of John LeBon is saying is, if the NPC meme is true, if the NPC idea is true, then what if I and you are some people we're surrounded by, they cannot think for themselves? Why would you talk to that person the way that you would talk to a person who can think for themselves? Basically. So if there's a person who can think for themselves, you talk to them and you're like, hey, what do you think about this? And they're like, what do you think about that? And you have this conversation, you feel like you're getting somewhere. Then this other person, you know, let's just say, you know for a fact they can't think for themselves. They're just programmed to give you certain responses. Probably you talk to them, pardon me, probably you talk to them differently than you talk to the player character. I think is what this guy is saying, and it makes sense to me. Basic idea of the non-player character theory, and I'm starting to wonder if this theory is in fact a hoax. Now, what I like to do at johnlebon.com and on this very YouTube channel that you're watching right now is look at an idea or a concept or a commonly held belief or even a fringe belief, whatever. All of these upward inflections at the end of sentences, this is what Australians do. This is a very normal Australian thing. At the end of a sentence, they will inflect upwards. So a lot of what they say sounds like a question. And I still do this to this day, but I've gotten a lot better than I used to be. But this is, like in Australian speaking, this is a very normal thing to make a statement that sounds like a question because there's an upward inflection at the end of the sentence. So let me give you an example. Suppose I wanted to tell you that Estonia is a great country, but the weather is not so good, right? In Australian English, you might say, yeah, man, I love Australia. I love it. Let me try again. Let me start from the start. Yeah, man, I love Estonia. It's really cool. The only problem is the weather. You know, it's a little bit. It makes you a little bit sad, right? That's how you would say it. That inflection at the end makes it sound like a question, but it's not a question. It's a statement. Whereas if you're not Australian, you would say, yeah, man, I love Estonia. It's a really great country, but the weather makes you a little bit sad. Right, like there's either no inflection or there's no change of tone, or if there is, it goes down at the end of the sentence. But Australians inflect upwards at the end of the sentence. Do you see what I'm trying to say? And I still do it. Like if you pay attention, I still do it, but a lot less than I used to. But when I listen to Australian podcasts and almost every sentence inflects upwards, I'm like, man, I can't believe I used to be like that. Here it is. And ask, well, what is the idea? Let's try and understand it. What is the evidence? Let's go and look for it. What is the logic? Let's think through it. And what is it? I'm doing it in every freaking sentence in this video. And this is only 5 years ago. Our own conclusion with all of this considered. So it's not about falling into a particular group or ideology. Certainly not part of being some sort of movement. No, just looking at each thing as it comes along and weighing up the evidence and the logic for ourselves. See? Almost every fucking sentence. I would like to think I've gotten a lot better since then. I would like to think that. Alright, so let's go and take a look at the live stream chat. Am I even still live? I've been cut off so many times now that I've lost faith in this live stream. Hey, Zinvalis is in the chat. He says, good evening. Good evening to you as well, Zinvalis. Elliot Chase says, facts. Hey guys, I've got an idea. Hey, Mum with Sons is in the house. She says that she's present. Hello to you, Mum with Sons. Hey guys, I've got an idea. Let's be honest, this live stream has had all kinds of technical difficulties. Hasn't gone the way we wanted. What if we spice it up? What if I invite the boogeyman himself back to the JLB Discord server to come and say whatever he wants to say? I won't censor him, silence him, stop him. He can say whatever he wants. What do you guys reckon? Should we get the boogeyman back? I want your opinions in the live stream chat. Either type Y for yes or N for no. Should we get the boogeyman back? If we get to 5 Ys, I bring him back. If he might not want to come back. Maybe he's busy. But if he wants to come back, 5 Ys, we get him back. If we get 5 Ns, I forget about this idea and we don't do it. All right? And if you don't know who the boogeyman is, let me play for you. Let's go and find some boogeyman action. Yeah, boy. This guy, by the way, he left a comment. In fact, I want to show you the comment. I want to show you this comment that he left. Really, it's quite remarkable that he did this. He left a comment saying that I'm a paid shill. He says that I'm a paid shill. Goodness gracious me. Let me go and see if I can find it. Really. And he knows I'm not a paid shill. But he puts these things there for attention. You know, these people who like, they only care about attention. They don't care if it's good attention or bad attention. All they care about is attention. Boogeyman, and I have many good things to say about him. Many good things. He was here before me for a start. He was here back when the 9/11 Truth stuff was first starting. Yeah, he's got good information, good knowledge. He's passionate. He cares about this stuff. I love all of that. But somewhere along the lines, he went a little bit silly, and now he just calls everybody paid shills. It's really quite crazy. It's ridiculous. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to get him back. If you guys want him back, let's get him back. Let me go and see if I can find him. Let me go and see if I can find some boogeyman action. Let's have a look here. So if I go to John LeBon dashboard boogeyman, let me see if I can find this. All posts, yes. Where's the boogeyman? There he is. Alright, so I'll just play a few minutes of boogeyman action. And so I know some people are like, oh, JLB, why do you give boogeyman and people like him a platform? Why do you let them blah? I get it. Yeah, sometimes they act like not very good. I get that. But in my opinion, their good stuff is very good. So that's why. Same as Dave J. My truth uncle, Crazy Dave J. Yeah, a lot of the time, he acts like a complete douchebag. Yeah, that's true. Fine. But how about his good stuff? His good stuff is absolute gold. So I don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Is most of Dave J's bathwater full of turds? Yeah. Is most of Boogeyman's bathwater full of turds? Yeah. But do I want to throw the baby out with the bathwater? Definitely not. That's my personal opinion. Let's go and take a look at this Boogeyman. Yeah, boy. I'll just fast forward through to...
You're about to listen to another Bonversation. If you like this episode, you can find more at johnlebon.com. Bonversations feature the most interesting and insightful people in the act realm and beyond. Every episode is made possible by people like you who value and support independent media. Now here's your host, JLB.
Shit, they're lying to us!
Sorry, man, what was that?
You gotta come to America, USA.
I honestly think I will. We had a member call, not a member call, like a get-together, me and a bunch of the members of the website in France, and it was epic, man. There was like 6 of us there. And I know America's a big place, but I'm sure if I said to people with enough advanced warning...
Dude, JLB and NYC would go crazy. Like, you gotta go to New York City.
Well, I wouldn't expect people from, like, the West Coast to come over, but, like, if I went to, like, New York, Chicago, and, say, California, say.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Yeah, I think so. I'm thinking next year, man. I'm seriously thinking next year, yeah.
For sure, man. You definitely got to do it, man. And then you could get yourself some street interviews from people, you know, figure out some people that were actually down there that day and ask them what they saw. And see how emotional they get when you say that, that they're lying.
Yeah, well, I listened to your chat with Fast Value, obviously, and you mentioned this idea of, go and speak to the firefighters and whatever. And I was thinking to myself, you know what? I would love to do that. I would love to go to New York and just man on the street interview people and say, did you live in New York during 9/11? And if they say yes, I'll say, do you mind if I ask, what do you remember about this? And then if I bump into someone who's like, I was a firefighter. I was like, cool, man, tell me. Like, I'm here to listen. I should do that.
Right.
Because, I used to be pretty confident that nobody died, nobody got hurt, right? But over the last couple of years, I'd prefer to believe no one died. But now I'm like, you know what, man? Buildings that big coming down. How do I know that no one died? Maybe they did. You know what I'm trying to say?
Right. And going to Lower Manhattan will give you a better perspective on, that the position that there were people down there, like, because there's...
All right, so guys, I want you right now in the live stream chat to say either Y or N. Y for yes, N for no. Do you want me to send Boogieman a link to come and join me live on the air right now? Now, maybe he's too busy, doesn't want to join us. But let's say that he does. Should I invite him here? Now, just be warned, if he comes here, he has been accusing me of being a paid shill. Working for, I don't know, the CIA, Mossad, MI5, like whoever, I don't know. That's what he's been saying. So if he does join us right now, there could be some fireworks. But hopefully he can just cool his jets a little bit and be cool, and I'll let him speak. Let's get him here. Let's make it fun. Why not? But if you put N for no, fuck it. We won't invite him. It's up to you guys. So in the live stream chat, make up your mind. Let me see if I can... Here it is. Okay, so I've got Y. Melancholy says Y. Travel C says N. Hilly says yes. Mama Son says yes. That's three yeses, folks. Or Tim Osman. If Tim Osman wants to join, not so nobody died, nobody got hurt. These days I'm like, maybe they did. Maybe a few. I don't believe 3,000 though. That part I'm still very confident is ridiculous. But how can I say that no one died with complete confidence? I can't say that. I'd prefer to believe it. And I think nobody dying is closer than 3,000 people. That's one of the problems. So anyway, Boogieman has been around this scene for longer than me, actually. And he recently popped back in to fakeologist.com. And there's been some perturbance and some disturbances over there, Boogieman. So let's get this clear right from the beginning. What the hell happened? I shouldn't phrase it like that. Let me ask you this. What happened on the call at Fakeologist, which I will link to for listeners who want to go and hear it? What happened yesterday?
Well, what happened yesterday was I lost control of my emotions, and I realized that was a mistake as far as the listenability of it, for one, and, my position may come off as just your emotions, like Ab described once the call was just about over there. But that couldn't be further from the truth. It's really just frustration from actually providing evidence and getting none in return. So I pretty much just lost my patience with parts. We've been going back and forth on Discord off and on over the past few years. And I pretty much demolished his argument in 2021 when I first showed up on Discord. Before that, I was pretty much reserved to a lurker on Ab's platform ever since he started it. I was there when he started on TalkShoe. I remember those first few calls. And yeah.
Let me give my take. As a disinterested observer listening to it after it was published, I wasn't there live, and I'm not even on the Fakeologist server anymore. It's about a 40-minute chat. Fast Value has been a member of a regular Fakeologist for possibly even longer than me. I'm not sure. I've been there for like 8 years. He might have even been there longer than me. I'm not sure. But either way, he's been around for a long time, and I personally I find him a very likable character. So to hear you and him having this kind of heated disagreement, when you both have valid points to make, in my opinion, it was... Alright, so folks, that was from a chat with me and Boogieman back in September. So what was that? 7 weeks ago now, that particular chat. Apparently, Boogieman is going to join us for this here live stream chat. And whatever happens, don't blame me. This is on you. I said to you, give me Ys or Ns. And you gave me Ys. So you wanted Boogieman to join. I give the people what they want. I'm a man of the people, okay? I'm very much about what the people want, let them have it. And they said, give us Boogieman. And I said, okay, let's get Boogieman. So here he is. The Boogieman is back. Boogieman, welcome to Late Night Truth Lounge. I think this is episode number 4. I think so. Anyway, good to have you back, man. How you been?
Hey, man, I appreciate you having me on. You know, I put the truth in Truth Lounge around here, so.
You know what?
Thanks for having me back.
We should just make it a weekly show, you and me. All right, we should just do
That would
the
be
regular Odd Couple. I reckon we could do some good ratings, you and me. What do you reckon?
That would be great, man. We could take this to the mainstream, man. We could go back to YouTube.
Well, dude, I am doing
uh,
YouTube right now, but the thing is, you remember, and I remember how it used to be back in 2015. It's not that way anymore, man. It's changed. Like,
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, you're right. They'll just shadow ban you even worse than you are now.
yeah. Anyway, so for people who don't know who you are, most of them do, but just quickly take a minute or two. For those who don't know who you are, just give them a quick introduction. Who are you? What are you into? Like, just give them an idea. Who's the boogeyman?
Yeah, well, you explained it a little bit earlier, but, you know, most of the people here go back far enough where you can remember where it was no planers versus plane huggers, right? So, you know, I'm an OG no planer is what I'm calling myself these days. Oh yeah, I just wanted to explain myself real quick about busting your balls about being a paid shill, and yeah, I mean, I it's commendable you work for yourself. You know, you're hustling. You know, so you know you're being paid to shill for auto hoaxing, basically.
Yeah, but I've made it clear. Auto hoaxing for me is just so okay. Suppose you work. Let's say you're a landscape gardener. Let's just say that's what you do for a job, right? You get home at 5 or 6 p.m. and you sit down and you turn on the TV, and the TV tells you that some dude with a gun went and shot a bunch of kids for no reason. He just went and shot them. 5 or 6 cute little innocent kids are dead because some guy shot them, right? The auto hoax framework is, okay, that could be real, but I'm going to assume they're lying to me again. I won't mourn these dead kids who I never met. I won't feel bad about it. I just got home from work, man. I just want to chill. They're probably lying to me again. That, to me, is the auto hoax framework. Alright? What the hell is wrong with that? Because the TV does lie. So, if they want me to feel bad for a bunch of dead kids... Like, if those 5 or 6 kids are really dead... Yeah, I feel fucking terrible. These cute little kids are dead.
It's cool.
And their parents... These
analogy?
parents have just lost a kid. Some of them might be their only kid. This is going to ruin their lives forever. They will never get over this. This is going to cause shockwaves throughout families and societies. Like, this is not just 5 or 6 dead kids. This is hundreds of people whose lives have been fucked up by this. Right?
Yeah,
So why would I believe it when I know the people telling me could be lying? So the auto hoax is just like, you know what? Forget their story. I don't believe it. To me, that's what this is about.
That's fine. Think of auto hoaxing as a tool, right? Like you could think of it as a hammer, right? There's a lot of situations where you're going to use your hammer. It will you know, fit what you need to do or whatnot, right? You can even improvise with the hammer, right? But there's some things you can't do with a hammer, right? Like put a screw in correctly, right? Now you could bang the screw with a hammer, but that's not the proper way to go about it, right? So you can't just use your hammer for everything, right? It's the same with auto hoaxing. Like if you're gonna be a quote unquote truther, right, or whatever, you got to be grounded in reality. You can't just auto hoax everything and, you know, cherry pick things from 10 years ago, you know, as an example for something that's going on right now.
Okay, so for the listeners who don't know what you're talking about, you must be referring to some particular thing that you don't like auto hoaxing. Like, explain to them what's your issue with it. Like, is there a particular event or something that you have some objection?
I mean, there's a few, but I mean, we could just stick to what's going on right now, like current events, you know, like what's going on.
Okay, let me ask you this, dude. I haven't spoken to you since this Israel Gaza thing, dude, whatever you say, I'm not going to censor you or stop you. This, the story is that a bunch of, what are they called, Hamas? A bunch of Hamas dudes on tricycles, flying tricycles, flew into a music festival, and they killed a bunch of people, and then Israel responded by killing a bunch of innocent Palestinians, and then, blah, blah, blah. That's the story. So I'm going to shut up. You tell me, tell all the listeners out there in the world of johnthebond.com, Late Night Truth Lounge, what do you think about this current Israel, Gaza, Hamas, whatever the fuck it is? What's your opinion on this?
Well, first I'll say something that I think everyone listening, and I think even you can agree with, is in so-called war, the first casualty is the truth, right? So especially for someone like me who's in North America right now, it's going to be hard for me to figure out exactly what's going on over there, why it's actually going on, right? Like, what are the actual objectives? Like, what's actually going on right now on the ground? I don't know, right? Now, we can look at history to try to make a guess and come to certain conclusions. But even more recently, like, everyone's got like a camera on their phone and stuff, so we get footage now of dead Palestinians getting pulled out of rubble and stuff like that. So for me, until someone shows me some evidence that stuff's being fake, then I'm just going to assume that the dead people I see are dead. Now, why they're dead, how they died, I don't know. A lot of that you just kind of have to infer from the footage, right? You see a building that's destroyed, you can kind of infer what happened.
Okay, so forgive me if I've misinterpreted what you said. You're saying that you're going to take the news footage of...
No, not news. I'm not a news person. I have a phone, right? If I share some footage on the internet, that doesn't make me a news person.
So what footage? What footage are you assuming is real? Which footage?
Well, I have a couple of pieces of footage on my Discord right now. But
dude, I'm gonna play it. I'm happy to risk YouTube banning me. I don't care. If you put it in the Discord right now, I will play it live for all the viewers to see what footage do you have that you think is real from this so-called conflict.
Okay. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it or not. I got it from Instagram. So, obviously. Well, do you have an Instagram account?
No.
Okay, maybe you don't need it. Maybe you can just play the video without it.
Let's try.
I'll try to share it. Yeah. Just give me a second here.
By the way, listeners all around the world here at johnthebond.com, Late Night Truth Lounge. Yeah, boy. Do you think, let me ask you all the listeners, let me know in the live stream chat, those of you guys that are listening live, do you think that we are being shown what really happened on the Twitter or the TV or the CNN or the Instagram, or do you not believe it? What do you think? I'm going to read out your live stream chat comments. And by the way, so far, Boogieman's return has been good. We've got this weird, what's the expression for it? Like, this like love-hate sort of, he's cool, then we have a problem, then he comes back. I think we could do this as like a weekly show, or maybe a fortnightly, like some kind of regular thing where Boogieman comes here, I chat with him, and I'm the straight guy, and he's the color guy. He's the eccentric, emotional, over the top dude. I think we could do it. Or he can be the straight guy, and I'll
Where do you want me to share it?
Well, where it says live stream chat, just
on YouTube.
Well, in the Discord. I'm going to play it from the Discord.
Oh, in the Discord.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Whatever you post, I'll just click the link and play it.
All right. Well, I'm sharing the live stream chat right now.
Yeah. Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, or I can be the he can be the straight guy and I'll be the colourful guy, right? Either way, I think we could do it. We can make like a funny weekly show. I'm open to this idea because it's all about entertainment, folks. At the end of the day, whether these events are real or hoaxes, most people have made up their mind. Most people have made up their mind. They're not changing their mind. But how can you be entertaining? Well, this guy here, Boogieman, he has known about the no planes since before me. And I've known about it since before most of you. So you've got two people who know about no planes. That's a very good foundation. And then from there, the two guys who both agree that there were no freaking planes hitting those bullshit, like that's not a real thing. From there, where do they agree and where do they disagree? Could make for good entertainment, I think. Let us know in the live stream chat. Now, he has just posted in the... Where'd you post this? Where'd you post it? Where is it?
YouTube live stream chat.
Oh, in the live stream chat. Alright, let me go on. I don't see it. What are you talking about? You have to post it in the Discord, bro. In the Discord.
Okay. Alright.
In the
Alright.
in the call... Okay, so in the... Under JLB Street, there's a call specific chat. If you post it there, I'll play it.
Alright. Give me a second here. Streets.
By the way, what time is it where you are? You're in like the middle time zone, right? Like
It's
5
quarter-7.
6:45.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so you're having a nice Tuesday night. What do you normally do on Tuesday night? What's your usual Tuesday night like relaxation? What's your usual routine?
Hold on a second, dude. I'm trying to find this. Which one?
Okay, so see how there's all these streets: JLB Street, Main Street, Hoke Street. If you go to JLB Street, there's a call specific chat.
Okay.
And the reason why I recommend that channel is because that channel is dedicated to this kind of thing.
Okay. I just posted it.
Alright, I'm going to try and play that. I don't know if it'll work. But by the way, Ethan just added you to help you to find the channel. If Ethan is online right now, Ethan, you're obviously listening to this conversation. Why don't you join this chat, Ethan? Ethan from TOTT News, the first person I ever podcasted with, a guy whose influence in my life helped change my life forever 9 years ago.
Is he in Australia?
Yeah, he's from Brisbane, Australia, yeah. Why don't you join, Ethan, you cheeky bugger? Give me, in the call specific chat, give me an excuse. If you're busy at work, fine. But if you're not busy at work, what time is it in Brisbane right now? They're 8 hours ahead, so it's about 10. It's 10 o'clock in the morning, Ethan. So I don't think you are busy at work.
That would be pretty cool to have 3 people on from 3 different continents.
Hey, dude, how cool would it be if Ethan... Because Ethan has checked out my material, the same as I check out his. Like, we both... When he posts something, I watch it. When I post it, maybe not straight away, but eventually we watch each other's material. If he was to join right now to chat with you, Boogieman, I would love to hear what he has to ask you. Because I guarantee you, he heard you on Conversations, so he's familiar with you. I would love to hear his questions for you. And I would love to hear your responses for him. So Ethan,
yeah, that'd be cool.
We know you're awake right now, so why don't you join us? Now, let me try and click on this Instagram thing. I don't know if it's going to work because I don't have an Instagram. But let's find out. Do you allow the use of cookies from Instagram on this browser? Yeah, I don't care, man. Whatever. I don't give a fuck. I don't use this shit. Now, it says, this video may contain graphic or violent content. Yeah, okay. Whatever. Just show me. Just show me the fucking content. Pardon my language, folks. I'm clicking on see why. It's showing nothing. What is this crap? What is this? Maybe if I use Chrome, maybe that'll work. If I use Chrome, maybe this will be better. Do you allow use of cookie? I really don't care, folks. I really don't care. Bro, it's not working. If I click on the if I click on the thing that says CY, it doesn't. Do you have any boogeyman? Do you have any evidence that's not from Instagram? Because I'm not disputing your Instagram evidence. I'm just saying I can't see.
I'm
it,
sure
so.
there's other people that are in the YouTube chat that can click on it and verify that it's.
Okay, fine. I will post a link in the chat for them to go and check. Fine.
Okay.
But for this,
I posted it in the chat.
Yeah, fine. But for this stream, it's useless if I can't play it.
I understand. I tried to explain that to you, but you cut me off and told me to post it. So I just said, "Fuck it."
Okay.
Post
Do you have anything that's not Instagram? Do we have anything else we can check?
Not right now. I'm in my car right now, sitting on the bay. So no, right now I don't have access to my laptop. So
No, that's cool. That's cool. I've got a better idea. How about I play some Pallywood action? Because I know that you don't believe it. I know that you think Pallywood is crap, right? So I want your opinions on this.
no, it's. I think it has value. 10 years ago, but I guess for people who've never seen it, it's worth checking out for sure.
Let's check out Pallywood, right? No, you think because you called me a Zionist shill for posting this.
No, I didn't. Don't do that. I did not. I didn't call you.
No, you did call me a paid shill, didn't you? You did call me a paid shill.
I did, but I mean, technically, you are. Like, even you have to admit.
No, I make. Okay, no. Okay, let me speak, and then you respond. I make money doing what I'm doing. That doesn't mean I'm a paid shill, because paid shill is someone who's given money to speak a particular viewpoint or a particular talking point.
Correct.
Yeah?
That's what you do.
Whereas I do whatever I want. I do whatever I want. No one's telling me what to say.
You have a certain audience that expecting certain.
Dude, a lot of my audience are on the pro-Palestinian, anti-Israel bent. My last three member videos,
Naturally,
basically,
sure, of course.
just hear me out. Are basically me saying, guys, I'm no defender of the Jews or Israel, but on this particular case, why are we believing the TV telling us that they're the bad guys? Why would you believe that? Why would you believe that there are Israeli Defense Force people murdering innocent kids? Why would you believe that, man? Just because they're Jews? Oh, the Jews are the bad people and they murder. Why would you believe that?
I don't think they're picking fights with toddlers and murdering them. I don't think it's like, oh yeah, I don't think that's how it works.
But okay, do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? For the last month,
understand what collateral damage is? You understand the concept?
Okay, for the last 4 or 6 weeks, there's been basically this narrative of, the Israelis, they're going overboard with their response to Hamas. They're bombing hospitals. They're killing babies. These poor little Palestinian kids and shit.
I never said any of that.
I'm not saying that you said that. I'm saying that's the narrative. And what I'm saying is, guys, I'm not here to defend...
narrative. You can't trust the narrative. Like, that's the first thing I said when I first started talking about this, was that, like, the first casualty of war is the truth. So you can't, like, especially from me over here in North America, like, I'm not going to be able to figure out what's really going on. All I'm saying, I see a dead body pull out of a building, and they're saying it's in Gaza or whatever. Okay, I'll just accept it for what it is. Like, now, can I explain it further than that? No. But I'm just, like, it is what it is.
Okay, can you imagine? Okay, so Boogeyman. I've known you for a long time. Boogeyman, I've known you for a long time. You know me for a long time. Can you imagine how it feels for me? I've been saying the Holocaust is a hoax for 9 years now. Publicly, I go on camera, people can see me. That's a very controversial thing, to say that the Holocaust never existed. So people think, oh, I'm anti-Jew, I'm anti-whatever. Now, with this particular thing, I'm the guy saying, all this Palestinian bodies and shit, it's all fake. The Jews aren't evil, they're not murdering babies. All of a sudden, people think that I'm... And people have accused me of this, by the way. I can show you documents. I can show you the evidence.
Some of it is fake.
People are accusing me of being a Jewish or pro-Zionist shill. And I'm like, this is a very pleasant change. For the last 9 years, I've been an anti-Semite and a bad guy. But now suddenly, I'm a pro-Zionist shill.
But JLB, you just accused me of saying that.
I didn't accuse you of anything. I'm talking about the
did.
general narrative. The general narrative. For the last 9 years, I've been calling the Holocaust a hoax, which it is, by the way. It is a complete hoax. But now I'm saying, guys, all this so-called footage of the Israelis killing Palestinian babies, that's also a hoax. They're not killing babies. The Jews are not beheading babies. This is obvious bullshit. And now I'm a pro. Now they're accusing me of being a Jew and a Zionist. And you know what? I enjoy it. I'm happy to be accused of being a Jewish.
Who's accusing you of that?
People in my YouTube comments and on Reddit. They're accusing me of being a pro-Zionist shill.
Oh my gosh, YouTube and Reddit, the home of the troll and the neck-bearded troll. I mean, come on, dude. Here's the thing. 5 minutes ago, you accused me of accusing you of that, and I never did.
I didn't accuse you of that. Listen, Boogeyman, I'm going to introduce Ethan into the chat. I'm assuming that Ethan has heard our conversation. Ethan is the first guy I ever podcasted with back in 2014. So today is November 2013. So we're talking almost a decade ago. This guy was how I started my, let's call it a truth career. Let's call it that. This guy and me started off, back then I was 26 or 27, about that. This guy was younger than me, and a lot has happened since then. And this guy is still going strong, and he is this is true, literally the only guy I've seen putting out content saying, hey guys, how do we know the Jews are the bad guys here? How do we know? Like, the whole truth scene is, yeah, let's pile on the Jews, let's fucking attack the Jews. This is the only guy I've seen who's like, yeah, but maybe we're being lied to about the Jews killing the Palestinians. He's the only guy I've seen doing that. So with that introduction, Ethan from TOTT News. Ethan, great to have you on the show.
Good to be here, John. Am I coming through all clear?
No, you're not coming through clear. What are you talking through a sock? What the hell's going on?
No, it's just on the mobile. I can jump on the computer if it's clearer.
Mate, if you could do that, I hate to be I hate to be that guy, but you sound like, and also your latest chat with the general, you also sound like you're coming through a sock. So what's going on? Are you talking to a sock mic on your phone?
Well, I apologise. I'll be back on in 5 minutes.
All right, let's give him 5 minutes, folks. It's worth taking the 5 minutes. He sounds like he's talking through a fucking sock. So anyway, Boogeyman, this guy Ethan, when he comes here, I guarantee you, he's not pro or anti me, or pro or anti you. Will you be willing to answer any questions he has for you, Boogeyman?
I'm sorry, say that again.
What the hell are you doing? What are you out for, a walking your dog or something? What's going on here? What are you doing, Boogeyman?
Outside.
What are you doing?
I didn't hear what you said, dude.
No, I'm asking you, what are you doing right now? Like, you're walking the dog, you're out cooking a barbecue? What's going on right here?
No, I'm going to the,
Okay, Boogeyman. Okay, folks listening, this is what I'm talking about. You know, I'm trying to be professional here. I'm doing my best to be professional, to bring some fucking professionalism to the truth scene, and this is what I have to deal with. It's really remarkable. It's over the top. I can't work in these conditions.
All right. So can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I couldn't 2 seconds ago. You sound like you're talking to a sock.
Sorry about that. Wind's blowing pretty hard.
Yeah, what are you doing? Like, are you walking the dog? So, like, what are you doing?
No, dude. I had to grab my coat out of the car.
What's the weather like in your part of the world right now? Like, what's your overnight minimum?
It's actually been unseasonably warm past few days, but the wind is really blowing hard now. We got some cold air coming in.
Okay, so for this time of year, what's your usual overnight minimum, roughly?
Overnight low?
Yeah.
Right now, it usually, about 35 degrees.
Oh yeah,
Just above
that's
freezing.
very similar to Tallinn, Estonia. Very similar. Yep.
Yeah.
It's fucking freezing, man. What's in the middle of winter? What do you get? Like in the middle of winter, what's the usual? What's a rough overnight low?
You're talking, it gets really cold here, but where I'm at specifically is like, gets really hit with snow hard, like almost harder than anywhere in the country. Like it's one of the top places in the whole country for snow. As far as population's over 100,000.
When you were a kid, did you used to make snowmen, or is that just a TV show thing? Or is it a real thing?
Yeah, it's a real thing. But I used to make snow forts. Just get a bunch of snow, make a huge mound, and then pour some cold water over it, and it freezes it, and you can dig it out and make a fort.
Well, I have like snow like battles with your friends and stuff. Like
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
oh, that'd be sick.
No snow.
You know, in Australia, because we're Australia, I shouldn't say we, but like Australia is the opposite, season. We have the Christmas in summer, but we still have all of the snow-based Christmas songs. Yeah, can you imagine how crazy that is? So you're listening to songs about, in the winter you can build a snowman. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? And it's like 35 degrees
Sure.
Celsius, which is like for you it's like 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and you're listening to songs about in the winter you can build a snowman. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, someone mentioned that in the chat. That just like they couldn't really. I don't know. Australia is just too extreme as far as the heat.
Oh, it can be.
You got to deal with.
It can be. Hey, speaking of extreme, we're about to hear from a guy who has been blogging about the truth since he was a teenager, and he's still doing it to this day. Ethan from TOT News is back. Ethan, good to have you on the show.
Good to be here, John. Am I coming through clear
Oh,
now?
that is 100 times better, man. Good to have you. Now, let me ask you this, Ethan. Are you familiar with the boogeyman?
Yes, I've heard Boogieman, obviously, on your website before. Obviously, we share some questions about the monolith and the mega ritual known as 9/11, and I would sort of, to start off in regards to what we're talking about with the war hoax, I would try to just express the notion that potentially the same things that we all saw with the overlaying of planes in real time on the screens could be potentially what's also happening now.
Well, dude, that's very heavy. How's this for an idea? Why don't we start off? So you're familiar with the boogeyman, but he's not familiar with you. For those who aren't, for listeners who aren't, just give us a quick 1 or 2 minute recap or overview. What is TOT News? How'd you get into this? What are your main focuses? For those who don't know, I'll put a link to TOT News in the show notes below. Give the listeners and Boogeyman just a basic summation or overview. What do you do at tottnews.com?
So TOTT News is an Australian independent media site. Obviously, I started it many years ago, as you've mentioned. It's been a long journey, John, but I've just been over there, and I also have a joint membership side of the website where we explore deeper content that's not necessarily meant for the public audience, some deeper topics, and it's sort of it's turned into a dual website, part delivering the news to people and part, trying to build a community where we discuss deeper ideas as to why the news is happening. So I've just been trucking along, and we're still going strong, mate.
Okay, that's a good overview. So you've been doing this for more than 10 years. Is it fair to say that the Ethan that I'm speaking to today is a little bit different to the Ethan who started out when he first created his first WordPress truth website? Is it fair to say there's been some development in those years?
Maybe just a little. I was having a laugh before as you were listening to an older video that you made, John, and about the NPC theory, and you kept pausing and saying, "What the hell, this guy? Yeah, listen to how he talks, listen to how he is." And I get the same sort of feeling a lot of the time when a lot of people talk about some of my old work. It's like, oh man, if only you could know how much I've evolved since that previous Ethan. And I think that's what life's all about. If you're not evolving in a true sense, not a fake Huxleyan evolutionary hoax sense, but in a true sense of evolving, you should be able to look back at your older self and see progress. And yeah, I think, me and you, especially John, in this wild and wacky scene, we've gone through some evolutions that probably a lot of people won't in their lives.
Yeah, we've been on a crazy path, man. Okay, so my last question for you before we get into the chat with the boogeyman. You have a big thing coming up on Saturday, I understand. Can you tell us about this?
Yes, we've got the National Free Media Summit. It's the first ever event that's going to be held of its kind here in Australia, where pretty much we're getting together some of the big independent alternative personalities here in Australia. It'll be my first time meeting a lot of them, Maria Z, Damien Richardson, Joel Jamal, all these types of characters that have emerged obviously and with their own websites and everything since I started, and we're all going together. I'll be doing a 10-minute presentation, and we'll be doing a Q&A panel with the crowd, and yeah, I'll be flying to Adelaide on Friday. I'm very excited for it, to speak to the crowd, and yeah, it should be a very good event. I'm hearing that a lot of people are going to turn up, mate, and funnily enough, we both, in a weird sync way, have events on the same day, don't we?
Yeah, and also the date is 11 November, so 11/11. You're going to be speaking in Adelaide, which, what does a boy from Brisbane have any business in Adelaide? It's very crazy. I'm going to be in Tallinn, Estonia. What does some dude from wherever the hell I'm from have any business in Estonia? It's ridiculous, man. And we started... Okay, so I want to take Boogeyman. I had to put him on mute, by the way, because he was making all this background noise. I want to take him off mute in a second. Before I do, can you just tell listeners who don't know, when we first met, can you just go back to your memory bank? Because we've got 40 live listeners right now. As soon as you joined, the live viewers doubled. We went from 20 to 40, and it's growing as we speak. Tell them, what are your first memories of meeting the artist currently known as John LeBon? What are your first memories of that day in Brisbane in 2014? What are your first memories?
Well, we were doing our usual 9/11 street action, the We Are Change Brisbane boys. We'd get together and hand out flyers and free DVDs to the public, and props to them. They've handed out tens of thousands of flyers and DVDs just to people leaving Central Train Station, and who knows how many minds that has sparked. But all of a sudden, this gentleman had come along, and he was looking for people to start a podcast with, to talk about news and what's going on in the world. And we obviously went for a few drinks like we do after our standing around in the sun, and we were sitting there having a chat, and I was the one that was really, at the same time, I was trying to do a podcast as well. I was trying to turn my site into like the first true multimedia site that wasn't just a magazine or wasn't just a radio. I wanted news, videos, podcasts, the whole 9 yards on the one website. So again, just as we were saying with these events, it was perfect timing. I believe you were looking around on meetup.com to find some like-minded groups that you could go to, and you went to a few, and you found myself at this group and our good friend Lindsay the Silver Fox, and next thing we know, we all got together, and the rest is history, mate. But yeah, that was a very interesting day.
It was, dude, it was a life-changing day. What if I never went there? Or what if you didn't turn up that day? How different would our lives have turned out? And it sounds dramatic. Oh, you just did a podcast together. It's not such a big deal. Actually, it is a big deal. It was life-changing. Had I never met you, I think my life would have been very different. And I think your life would have been very different, Ethan. And I'm not exaggerating. It's a big deal. Now, we have to move on. I've got with me the boogeyman. The boogeyman himself. He's been here since before you, and actually maybe not before you, Ethan, but before me, definitely. And he was there part of the truth, you know, the no planes and the Henrik Palmgren and the were the planes done on CGI or were they done real time? All this stuff, this massive schism that happened. And I think you've heard, Ethan, my chat with the boogeyman. So I've got both of you here, boogeyman from summer in America where it's very cold, and Ethan from Brisbane where right now it's very warm. The two of you, I want to start off. Ethan, do you have any questions for the boogeyman?
I do have a couple questions, but the first thing I wanted to note was just going back to when you were trying to play that Instagram video before, John. To view the Instagram video, you've got to click the see real part, which is at the bottom, not the see why.
All right,
And
let me
that
try
will
it.
play
Okay,
in
fine,
the
fine.
video.
Let me try it. All right, so let me go. Let me click on this, but I don't have an Instagram account, so maybe that's why it's not working.
No, it should be able to. You
Okay,
should
so
be
it's
able
on
to
my
watch
screen
it.
right now. I'm assuming you can see this on the stream. So it says sensitive content. This video may contain graphic or violent. So oh, I see. So if I click see real. Oh, okay, no, you're right. Okay. Guys, hold on. This is why me and Ethan work so well. He was a young techno-savvy guy. Oh, this is meant to be a real body, is it? This is meant to be a real body. For those of you listening to the audio, you can't see it, but for those of you watching the video, this is meant to be a real body of some guy, like a reverse Jesus. Is that it? Ethan, can you see this? Like, I'm guessing you can click this link, right? I'm going to play this again a second time for the live viewers. For those on audio, I'm sorry you can't. Obviously, you can't see. You're on audio, but what it is a bunch of guys on the second floor up. So like, it's like a concrete building that's missing its front section, and there's a bunch of dudes lowering a body that's covered in grey dust, 9/11 style. And I'm guessing, because this is the first I've seen it, I'm guessing this is meant to be a real dead body that's being lowered. And it says, and by the way, this link is from the boogeyman, who we'll hear from in just a moment. It says, due to the lack of civil defense equipment and the huge amount of destruction, this is how Palestinians evacuate bodies from the rubble of destroyed homes in Gaza from the 7th of November 2023. So from it's from today, I guess. It's from yesterday. So it's a video of people lowering a body, a dead body. Okay, this is the story. We have no backgrounds. We don't know. Like, firstly, if there's a dead body, let's just say it is. We don't know how he died, why he died. Like, why are they even recording this? We've got very little information, Ethan. Like, what is this?
Even people over there have cell phones. You know, it's 2023, so why?
Yeah, but boogeyman. My point is, let's say this is okay.
Media?
Okay, boogeyman. Let's say this is a
People
real
saying
dead body.
it's fake. Maybe that's why they're recording it.
Okay, boogeyman, hear me out. Let's say this is a real dead body. Fine. We don't know how he died or why he died. It doesn't mean he died because some Israelis killed him. Do you understand? We don't know how he died or why he died.
Correct. First thing we have to do is at least acknowledge whether you think it's real or not, right? Like, that's the whole exercise here. Is like,
do you think it's
is
real?
this real? Yeah, I think that's real.
Why?
Yeah. It looks real. What do you think? Do you think it's real?
I'm 50-50.
Okay, fine.
Anyway, I've got with me, hey boogeyman, I've got with me Ethan. Ethan and I, when we first started out, this is my main man, and he has heard you and me conversation. So if he has any questions for you or comments or things, I would love to hear them. I've got with me Ethan from TOTT News and boogeyman, the guy who's been here for longer than me. Ethan, do you have any questions for the boogeyman?
Just in regards to, I don't think it's really a question. I just think maybe expanding on from this conversation on this video, what I like to do when I'm looking at this is I've sort of broken it down into 3 separate parts that make up this operation, this war. So in regards to obviously this being a real video, I would believe that this is a real person. These are real people lowering down what looks to be a real person. Now, the way I break it down is, I guess there's the operational side of things, which I say is, you know, you see the firecrackers go off and the sirens go off and things like this. For me, that's designed to keep people close to the action, from asking too many questions, from going a couple suburbs over from where the real action is. So there's realness in a sense that there is small operational things happening on the ground. The next element is what I call obviously the stage elements of it, where I do believe that there is Pallywood involved, not just like beyond the CBS documentary that has been done, more so involving crisis actors, fake blood, things on the ground that is on this almost a movie set in a sense on the ground. That's the second one. And then the third one, which is the real deceiving one, which is taking over, is the complete fakeness, the AI creations, what we're seeing online where that's a doll, or that's clearly a doctored image, or that's been completely created. That is what's really exploding at the moment, and I think really causing a lot of deception. But if we're talking about this video, I would, for me, when I look at it, and again, I don't have any proof to say this, from what I've seen with other videos and crisis actors, and we talk about Gaza Guy and all these people that keep appearing in different videos, children that are being pulled out of rubble that appear in different videos, the same child. For me, I would put this video into that category. So I want to know what you think about this, not necessarily saying this is fake, but what do you think, Boogieman, of this notion that this video that we're watching now could have some element of crisis actors to it?
Well, where I would begin is differentiating between the two sides. Let's acknowledge that there are at least two sides. There might be more, right? But at least from what we can know, right, is that there are two opposing sides, right? And I mean, you can go back as far as the 40s if you really want to, but like you can clearly see like they built walls over there, right? Like they have imprisoned those people. Like it's a real thing going on, right? And there are two sides. Like it's not just one side. Sure, when you think about global powers at the top, are they all in on it? Sure, maybe they're all working together, you know, especially like with example like with the space hoax, right? That's an example of how they're all working together at the top, right? But as far as this conflict, quote unquote conflict, whatever you want to call it, we do have two opposing sides, right? And sure, maybe the Palestinians maybe over embellish sometimes. I don't know though, but I do know that we have one side that's proven to be not trustworthy and lying and deceitful, and they have billions of dollars funding them, right? So that's the first thing you got to establish. There's two sides. Yes, and you can, if you want to, you can cherry pick some fake shit, right? Because the Israelis, that's what they do. They specialize in false flags, in deception, out and out fake narratives like the Holocaust, right? So yes, you're always going to be able to cherry pick some deception when it comes to war and some propaganda. Now,
well, if I could just jump in quickly,
I haven't seen much fakery or crisis acting on the Palestinian side.
Yeah, no, that's totally cool, man. And I know it's hard with the context. You know, I've been sharing a lot of information, and I'm sort of just going off of images and links that I've seen. I might be able to share in the chat, for example. But just going back to what you're talking about in regards to sides, I'd like to jump in there. You know, for me, when I look at the sides that are going on, there are a lot of benefits that both supposed sides have to this conflict. You know, that the Palestinians...
Sure. The Palestinians definitely get a lot of money too.
Well, that's the thing. They get the money. The Israelis get the money. You know that it would benefit both of them to have this conflict go on. Why has this gone on
for sure?
So
that's
long?
What I'm saying. It's real. It could be manipulated. Obviously, it's manipulated at the top, right? Because they could stop fighting, right? Like we're all adults here. They could stop fighting, right? Obviously, don't want them to stop fighting. There's obviously an agenda going on that us three aren't really privy to. Like, we can just see what we see on the ground. But you have these weirdos talking about it's all fake.
All right, so Boogieman, I hate to interrupt you. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad we got Ethan with me, the guy I started with. I'm glad that you're here, Boogieman. You've been here for a long time. We've got with a very special guest. I want to give him a couple minutes to introduce himself and just say what his basic opinion is. We've got with us a very special guest, one of my three truth uncles, Dave J himself. Dave, can you hear me? Are you coming through clear?
Oh, God. And the demon's rage. Did you notice that the demon raged when he heard the voice?
Okay, now Dave, here's the thing. Boogieman is usually very cool. I know that you guys have some disagreements, but
first thing he does is add hominem.
Hold on, Boogieman, give him a chance. If you guys can just be cool, all right, just be cool. There's no need to be mad at each other. We need to get to the bottom of this. Is this Israel-Gaza thing?
Yeah, exactly.
Just relax, folks, relax.
Here's the way this works.
Just relax, Dave J. I want you guys to both be cool. What is going on with this Israel thing? Let's go first to Dave J, then we'll go to Boogieman. Dave J, what's going on with this Israel thing? What's your opinion?
Nobody died, nobody got hurt. It's street theater, obviously. I did a video several years ago about the Gaza movie set, and there's several so-called sets, across the plain that are just old parts of the city that are shown from different angles and different camera angles and constantly being destroyed. And then you have a few people pretending to be the so-called victims. Here's the thing. Israel is not fighting in Palestine or Gaza, and there is no war. There's also no war going on in the other... What's the other one that everybody's forgotten now all of a sudden?
Ukraine. You mean Ukraine?
Russia and Ukraine. Yeah, Russia. That's also nothing more than controlled demolition and strategic relocation. Like I've told people before, if you can't boil down something down to a sentence, you need to do more work. War is a hoax. It's controlled demolition and strategic relocation.
All right, Dave J, that's an excellent... By the way, I'm so glad when someone joins here and you just boil it down into a minute. Really, that takes some skill. I'm glad you can do it. Now, Boogieman. Hey, Boogieman, don't interrupt. So Dave J just gave his opinion. He did it very succinctly. Took him 1 minute. What is your response to that?
That's just TNS. It's lazy. And if you want to know what TNS is, use your imagination.
Now, Boogieman, I'm trying not to take sides or be biased here. Dave J just in 1 minute explained his opinion, which maybe I agree or disagree, doesn't matter. He explained it. So how do you explain your opinion? In a minute or two, give us your basic gist.
Everyone already knows my opinion. Like, Israel is not to be trusted. You can cherry pick some fake shit and say it's all fake if you're lazy, but that's just more TNS.
Okay, so this footage we get, for instance, on Twitter, they show this footage of somebody giving CPR to a baby, like, trying to revive, like a toddler, like maybe 4 or 5 years old. I say this is fake footage. Nobody died, nobody got hurt. No child died from some bullshit Israeli incursion. Not this baby, not this doll. What do you say to that?
Okay, I don't have Twitter. I don't know what you're referring to right now.
Okay, I'm gonna go and find that Twitter footage because I can play it for the viewers. But in the meantime, Boogieman, what do you say to people like me and others who are like, you know what? They show us these dead bodies that supposedly the Israelis killed or the Palestinians killed. I don't believe it. What do you say to that?
That's your choice to not believe and to auto-hoax these things. But like I was explaining about a half hour ago or so. Auto hoaxing is a tool, but it's not going to be applicable in all situations. And if you, like I said before, you could have a screw, and yeah, you could bang it in with a hammer, but that's not the way it's supposed to be used. And you look stupid using a hammer
Hey, why
to
are you
bang in a
laughing?
screw.
All right, let's go to Dave J. Dave J, let's go to you. So I'm just auto.
I'm just
No,
wondering
Dave J,
when-
just a minute.
Yeah.
I'm going to you. So in my opinion, it's easier just to auto hoax the whole lot. Boogeyman is saying that maybe some of these deaths are real. Do you
Then
think?
he needs to give her name.
Well, just
He
hear me
needs, he needs to give it. No. Here's the
Definitely
thing. It's very
easier.
simple. Here's a
I
very.
don't have to
This
do
is very
anything.
simple. Yes, you do. In
No,
fact,
I don't.
You do.
I don't have to do anything. I'm in Pennsylvania.
Okay, I'm going to put you guys on server
Silent.
mute. When I go to Dave J, Dave J speaks. When I go to Boogeyman, Boogeyman speaks. I can't have you guys talking over each other. So for now, Boogeyman's on mute. So Dave J, how about this idea that people say to me, "Oh, but some of it must be real. There must be
Well,
some
let me get
people."
back to that. I don't. Yeah, I can go right from that. Here's what everybody needs to realize: that you are your witness. What comes out of your mouth is what you'll be held accountable to. So if you want to go ahead and claim that somebody died or got hurt in this Israeli-Gaza so-called war, then you need to give me their name and you need to bear true witness. That will not happen because nobody can. Because this is all a controlled narrative. It is a scripted event. Just like the so-called politics and everything else. It's all part of the same narrative, just within the war division or the politics division or the movie division. So yes, it's very important that each person bears witness to their own report. So if they're going to tell me that somebody died, you're going to tell me exactly who that is and why I should even care. But if you don't have a name, then keep your mouth shut. Nobody died, nobody got hurt. And people say, and here's the thing: do you know anybody? Do you know anybody who died or got hurt in the war? No, you don't. So don't say you did.
No, I don't know anybody who died or got hurt in the war, Dave.
I don't
I don't
know
believe in it. I'm not
Nope.
saying anyone died or got hurt. Here's the weird thing, Dave. For years, people have accused me of being an anti-Semite because I don't believe in the holo hoax, and I call a holo hoax a hoax, right? But now the tables have turned because I'm saying I don't believe the IDF killed or beheaded any babies. Now they're saying I'm a pro-Israel, I'm a pro-Zionist shill. You see? So now they're saying I'm shilling for the Jews. It's a very strange turn of events, Dave J. Very strange.
Well, you can't then talk about just the war is just a scripted event. However, if you want to now talk about the so-called Israelis and who they're supposed to represent, which are the so-called Jews, are you talking about then the biblical Jews or those that are known as the Khazars or that type of Jew? Or those that run, banking and all that type of stuff, media? Because then you get into a spiritual side of this whole talk, and that's between the God of this world and talk like that, and I'm not sure a lot of people are ready for that. But there is a power that runs this place, and all these different events are run from that spiritual center, and then I call it Satan, just SAY10, say input output. The input equals the output. So if somebody accepts a false input, their output cannot help but be false. There's no way it's going to become true. So when people consume these false stories, which are all coming out of the same, just put beast around with quotes around it. If it's all coming out of the same beast's belly, then all of your output is going to be false. So once you get to that point, then you don't have to then piecemeal each one of these stories and just keep looking at the different events and saying, "Oh, I can't." You're rubbing your hands together, hoping you find a body, And then men seek death, and then death flees from them.
All right, we've said our piece, Dave J. Let's give Boogeyman a chance. I don't think I have to put you on mute. I think you'll be respectful. Let's give Boogeyman a chance to respond to that. Let's see what he has to say. Boogeyman, you've heard what Dave J just said. What do you say about this?
I say he's been repeating the same lame script for years now, and yeah, it's like you said, John, a couple of minutes ago. Yeah, it's easier to just auto hoax things. Like you could take the easy way in life or the right path, John, and the right path's not always going to be easy. You know, so yeah, that's your prerogative. If you just want to auto host things,
So
I
do you
understand.
think some of the footage of the babies being beheaded is real? Like, do you think the Israelis beheaded the Palestinian babies, or like, do you believe that's real?
Wait, but you got the story mixed up. Like that's not what they said. They said that the Palestinians beheaded the Israeli
Okay, do you believe
babies.
that?
You see how that? So no, I don't believe that.
So you
You know
do
what I'm
agree
saying?
they're lying
You
about some
understand?
of this stuff. You agree they're lying about some of
Yeah.
this.
Yes,
So
I
why
said
would
that.
you say they're
Like
telling
I
the
said, the
truth
first
about
thing I
any of
said
it?
was
If you know they're lying about some, why would you just believe any of it?
okay. The first thing I said when I came on here was the first casualty of war is the truth. Okay, so yes, you can cherry pick some lies and say it's all fake if you want, but that would not be a wise thing to do.
But why would you believe that any of it is real? Based on what?
Because I trust my own eyes and my own intuition, and I have pretty good instincts.
Alright, well,
So,
if you post some links in the live stream chat, I'm going to click those links and play them for all of the viewers
okay, so
right
I
now.
posted one, and your buddy said it looks real. You said it's 50-50. I say it's real. So I don't really care what
No,
Dave
no, what
J
I said
thinks. I
was
don't
that
have to
could be a
name
dead
anyone's
body. That's not
name.
necessarily a dead body from war. That's a different
Okay.
thing. People die all the time.
Okay, but that's what I said. But first, we have to establish if we can all find common ground and agree that this is a real dead person.
No,
First, that's the first thing we
no.
have to do. No, I don't care what you have to say, JJ. You have no credibility. So go ahead and repeat your script because it's lame and predictable. Okay, so congratulations on playing yourself for 10 years. You have Asperger's, bro.
Well, I said it was crisis actors, just to be clear as well. A real video with actors.
A dead actor.
Nobody
No, I
died,
don't
nobody
think
got
he's
hurt,
dead.
bud.
I don't think he's dead.
Nobody
You
died,
think
nobody
he's
got hurt,
dead.
bud.
Okay. Well, let's replay the game tape, and we'll,
Let
okay.
me
Just
let me
go
go ahead
back
and give you a
5 minutes
simple way
when
to
you
show
said
to
he looks like
just
a
for
dead
people
person.
listening. Just for people listening to the different people you listen to. When you hear them giggle and have little giggles in their voice when they're talking about death and mayhem, they're lying to you. All right? And you will notice that what do you go by a different name on chat? Boogeyman, do you go by a different name?
The joke's on you, Dave.
Do you
That's
know?
why I brought you here because you
I'm
don't have any
asking.
credibility. Yes,
Okay.
that's my
Okay.
name. That name
What
you
is your
see,
name?
that's my real name.
Okay.
You
So
understand?
then,
That name you see,
so,
that's my real name.
okay.
You want
So
to know
then,
where
for
I'm at
people
right now?
listening, I don't care where
You
you're
want
at.
to come
So
hang out?
anybody listening to Elliot will know he's lying to you because you will hear the giggle in her voice.
This guy is so
I
full of
said
shit. It's funny.
her voice because there's an idea, John. I don't know if you've heard
Here we go with the
of
ad
this.
hominem horse shit.
It's called a
Here's the
spiritual
thing. You really
homosexual.
do have Asperger's, though. So that's why
So, so a spiritual homosexual is someone who has a thought one moment and then within the next sentence changes their mind, and they themselves didn't even notice it. So that's kind of, and so when they talk about death and mayhem, you will hear them giggle. Just listen for it.
Alright, let me read a live stream chat comment and then I want Boogeyman's response. This comment comes to us from Epic Souls. He says, I can't believe anybody could believe Boogeyman is entertaining. He is definitely not. Epic Souls, you know I love you. You've been a big supporter of mine for a long time. I do think Boogeyman is entertaining. So I'm surprised that you disagree. Boogeyman, what do you say to this? You've got people saying that you're not entertaining. What's your response to this? I think you are entertaining, but the comments are saying that you're not entertaining.
Look, since I started being vocal on this scene, you notice that there are people that will just say anything and hate on you. You know this very well, John, when you're Reddit that you started, right? You have people that will downvote you just for the sake of downvoting you because it's you. It doesn't matter what you say. It could be a completely logical, reasonable, fair comment, and you'll get downvoted because they're just haters, and haters are gonna hate, John. You know how that goes.
All right, let me see, because we have to wrap this up at 3:00 local, which is 25 minutes. So time is running out. I think in a lot of ways we're on the same page. Boogeyman, would you agree that the death numbers of World War II are inflated? Would you agree with this? Like, we've been lied to about the number of dead people.
I mean, yeah. I mean, even they have gone back on the numbers. You know,
Okay.
even officially the Holocaust numbers, they have retracted.
All right.
Reduce it to zero. Reduce the Holocaust number to 0, and you'll be on the right track.
That's fine. That's fine.
All right. Okay. So So we finally found some common ground.
Yeah.
We're on the same page there. My next question, I'll go first to Boogeyman, then Dave J. Why do you think they're putting this stuff on our monoliths, on our Twitters, and our Facebook feeds, and our TVs? Why are they telling us about this so-called conflict in Gaza? We'll go first to Boogeyman, then Dave J. Why are they doing it? What's the point?
Well, I know you don't live in the United States, but this the media here is controlled by Zionist Jews. Okay, so that's why you get what you get over here, right? And Zionist Jews control Facebook and all the other, Twitter, whatever, all your monolith sponsored programming is Zionist Jew controlled. So that's why you get this narrative. And if you don't think they have people out there to throw turds in the punch bowls and say, "Oh, it's all fake," like you don't think they have that angle covered, then you're very naive at best. Okay, because
It doesn't really explain why they're doing it though. Let's go to Dave J. Dave, why are they doing this? Why are they presenting these decapitated babies and these all this stuff? Like, what the hell's the point of it?
Yeah, I'll tell you exactly. First, a point of order. Go back about 15 seconds, 10 in the thing, and you'll hear the giggle I'm talking about. Anyways, moving forward, why are they doing it? You have an audience. The audience is demanding a corpse. The audience gets up in the morning and demands a corpse. It doesn't matter if it's going to be, whether it be from war or hiking a busty biker babe going off a cliff. It doesn't matter what it's from, as long as it is a corpse that they can then mourn over. So then, but here's the thing about war. War is a bit different. Yeah, war is given to you so that entire cities and blocks can be rebuilt, and the population of those areas is now knows. They say, okay, yes, we know this event happened because we read about it or it was shown to us by the news. Therefore, when the rebuilding process, or what's called the peace dividend, happens, all those same people are now they'll be given jobs, kickbacks, this, that, and the other thing for wages. So it's really just the war economy versus the peacetime dividend, which is nothing but cycles. So if you look at so-called human history, it's nothing but war, peace cycles. And guess what? War, all the way back to every single war you can think of, all of them have been hoaxes. They're all controlled demolition and strategic relocation, period. Every single war, doesn't matter.
One of my favorite clips, it was from when you appeared on the JLB member calls back in 2018, and you were like,
right.
I think I need to explain this again to you. War is in fact a hoax. And let me, when I say that,
there seems to be a miscommunication here.
Yeah, because Dante was asking about the people that the people like with wounded legs or stuff like this, like people who
right.
Do you remember this? And you were like,
yes, I do.
I see these people at the VA, right? Because I have to. This is what you said. You're like, I have to go there because I had a hurt neck when I was in the forces, and so I go there and I see these guys, and they're wearing their ball caps, and they're like, oh yeah, I was in the Mekong Delta, and it's like, what were you doing? I was working in logistics. Oh, so you're delivering boxes, right? You're delivering boxes. Oh yeah, but I was in the Mekong. So why are you wearing your ball cap for, man? Stop it. Do you remember this?
Yeah. It's like, yeah, you must have seen some shit. Yeah, I seen some shit.
Yeah.
All right, man. See you later.
And that's what they talk about, because if they had to elaborate, they would have to lie. They would know that they would be lying. So that's all they say. Oh yeah, man, I saw some shit. Oh yeah, in the Mekong Delta.
That's the whole thing. That goes on even within the military on the bases. They're telling each other stories. The whole it's all a culture of lies, and then they give you ribbons And decorations, you're like a tree. They give you ribbons and pins and decorations to keep your mouth shut. Because they're like, hey, Daddy, what's all those ribbons for? What are you going to tell them? You're going to say, well, I didn't go out, I didn't shoot nobody, I didn't kill nobody, I went to some bars, and I did that. That's what I did.
All right, all right. Do you think, okay,
I shouldn't be.
To try and give the boogeyman, I'll try and play this as fairly as we can. If he believes there's some conflict going on in the Middle East, are people like you and me going too far, saying it's all a hoax? Like, is it possible, Dave J, that some of this is real? Like, is it possible we're going too far?
No. Zero chance.
Okay, do you think it's all CGI? Do you think it's all been made up?
No, it's all. I told you there's real streets. If you go look at my Gaza video, I did that in 2013. People think I just did it this past week, but I did that video in 2013 because the truth doesn't change. The truth does not have an expiration date. All right? If you can't then stand on the definition that war is a hoax, it's controlled demolition and strategic relocation, your observation has to be from that truth. You can't just jump around to different foundations. So from that foundation, can you observe around, look at all the evidence presented over time, and still maintain that that is a true foundation? Yes, you can.
All right, well, I've been doing this for 9 years. I started with Ethan. Ethan, you've been here since the beginning of this. You got with us the boogeyman, who he has his critics. I'm one of his critics, actually, but when it comes to 9/11, he was one of the first to say these planes are bullshit, which is very important. Now it's easy to say that. You can see it. It's fake. But at the time, it wasn't so obvious. So the boogeyman was one of the first to say, guys, these planes are fake. So I give him credit. I disagree with him about some recent stuff, but I think he's a very important guy. Dave J, one of my three truth uncles, in my opinion, very important guy. Ethan, do you have any questions for either Dave J or the boogeyman?
I'm not too sure. I've just been sitting back enjoying the entertainment. Does Dave, like, for me, I agree with Dave in a sense. Obviously, on the ground, as I was saying, I sort of break it up into those three parts, and there is sort of obviously the crisis actor, almost movie theatre set to it, and then there's the operational one, like a few not missiles, but a few firecrackers in the air and whatnot to keep those in the hills from coming down to the set with their phones, for example. But I also believe that there is a huge element to this that is CGI created, that is just completely manufactured. And I think that
Absolutely.
I'm more interested. Like, I have a question for you, Dave. Do you think, because I'm more interested, I've concluded, I've called it the conflict, the Arab-Israeli conflict, a con and a flick, a movie.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm wondering, because I've never seen such widespread promotion of so-called content that I am now. And, even just my most normie of normie friends saying, we've got to call out the genocide that never, back in 2014, 2006, 2000, every time this pops off to get them some more money and funding, I've never seen it like this. Do you think, my question is for you, do you think this is going to escalate into maybe a larger so-called operation, movie set, whatever we want to define it as in a world war, so to speak? And do you think that there is an element where we're seeing a lot of social engineering going on in the real sense, where, they're riling up the Muslims in Australia, they're riling up these people? Do you think this is just going to be business as usual for this part of the saga, or do you think maybe this is escalating into something bigger in their script?
Yeah, first and foremost, it's a combination of all three, like you said. If you look at even in a lot of the pictures being put out, they're obviously AI derivative, drawings. It's nonsense, but somebody who doesn't really notice or look, they'll get fooled by it. So a lot of it is just completely made up. And the little sets, the street scenes are just, with camera angles, you can make a very small space look very large. All right, and then now moving, I also want to preface the meat of this answer with the fact that my God is my Lord Jesus Christ, period. So then, now moving from that, I'm looking at a position that with the Ukraine-Russian war, that a lot of that equipment that was being moved over early is not for that event. It's actually for a final conflicts. The grand conflicts. Funny you should say that, because when I did the January 6th video, the week that happened, I called it the conflicts as well. FLIX, like a movie. So so it's a conflict. So it's basically you're being conned by this movie being presented to you, and the script of this time we're in is found in the King James Bible. Now, there's a couple different versions. If you're a gematria person and want to know the numerology of the stories, the so-called news stories, you have to use the 1611 version because of spelling differences, and it adds to number values. That's kind of geek talk, but it's important. But if you're just looking for kind of just a general overall script of what's going to happen, you can just read the standard English. And what's going to happen is they're going to present a put upon nation, the country of Israel, and I put it as is real and is not real. All right. So then the idea is that this put upon space is going to be put upon by all these other countries, and all of that equipment for the grand show, because it will be a grand show, because they'll be able to blow up real things. There's just not going to be anybody in them, but it's going to look very good, because you're going to have a lot of armaments that are driven remotely, like remote control cars, things like that, and being blown up. So all that will be put on the telescreen for people. They'll eat that up. You can already see the wag the dog here. So you're already just direct a big desert battle scene with all this different equipment that's been moved over the last several years, and that's what you're going to see. That's what's going to be presented to you, and then it's going to be the biggest show on earth. All right, and on the plane, up to date. And a lot of this was shown, even if you go back to the Civil War hoax in the United States, there would be battles set up, and then people kept at a distance for observers, and they would present these battles to these people like stage plays, like they still do today, reenactments. And then those would then be the witnesses to the battle. They just didn't tell anybody. It was just all a hoax. It was all controlled demolition and strategic relocation. It all boils down to that same definition. So then what you're looking at is, and that's what all these armaments are, and all the equipment's being moved about. It's all for this final play. But at no point be worried that somehow some hot war is going to break out. None of that's ever going to happen. It doesn't happen.
Yeah,
right.
But no, it's interesting just to hear, because I sort of think it is, because I've never seen it the way it is before, and I know John wants to get to final thoughts, so I'll just make it quick. But I've never seen it's promoted as much as it is now. It seems like it is going to something bigger, and all they need, as you said, is everyone watches this through their screens. Even the people in Gaza, even the people in Israel right now, they're watching it through their screens as well. They're not down where the so-called action is happening. And just like World War II, what ended so-called World War II? A big atomic bomb, supposedly. And all you need is one mushroom cloud on a TV, the war is over, and now China or whichever other country model they want to overlay, they have been the victors. It's very simple as well. Like, I see it almost as an overlay. They want every war, they overlay different models of control, don't they? Disguised as countries. And I think maybe this is the Chinese social credit model that will emerge after this for Western nations. But as you said, that it only takes theatre, it only takes screens, it only takes one mushroom cloud, a couple of shooting scenes over here and there for people to believe this when they're not really there.
Well, yeah, that's the whole thing about the idea of the movie script. There's no countries fighting each other. They're all working with each other. So the idea of nationality and race and all that is just a construct as well. It's just those being kept, and through strategic population control, sending people certain places, and that then molds the population over a series of years. However, what's coming up now in the script we're talking about is the end time script, and so then you're looking at a one world ruler. You can't forget about the COVID-19 script. That didn't go away. That first wave that went through a couple of years, that was just the stress test. That was the stress test. The next constriction, because with the idea of a serpent is you constrict. You constrict, the victim then can't breathe. Remember the can't breathe idea? As soon as you let go a little bit, everyone starts to breathe, and then guess what? As soon as they get a lung full of air, you constrict again.
Dave J, I'm glad you brought that up. I got a question from the live stream chat. It's for Boogieman. We'll go to him first, then I want your opinion. The question is from Eccentric Views. Your friend, Dave, Eccentric Views. Remember Gino? Remember how you made those videos about Gino? You remember him?
I sure did.
His question is, does Elliot, as in Boogieman, does Boogieman believe 3 million people died from COVID? So, Boogieman, the question for you is, from my mate Gino down in Melbourne, do you believe millions of people died from COVID? And then after you answer Boogieman, we'll go to Dave J.
No.
Do you believe like hundreds of thousands of people died from it, or like what's your theory on it, the whole thing?
Well, I know before it all started, gaining any type of momentum, I got like this really bad cold/flu, and I just remember telling my mom, like, man, like that thing lasted for like 2-3 weeks, and I don't ever really remember being sick like that, and so there might be some bad flu or cold going around, you know what I mean? Like, because I did experience a more severe one than I can ever recall.
Do you believe in viruses? Do you think viruses are a real thing?
I don't know. I don't have enough information to say one way
I used
or
to
the
believe in
other.
viruses. I used to believe in them. These days, I'm a bit more like I can't say they definitely don't exist, but I don't believe in them anymore.
To declare one way or the other. So all I can know is I can tell you that I got a bad cold/flu.
All right, let me tell you another
really
thing. And by the way, I
figure out
spoke
what it
about
was.
this on Ethan's website a week ago, and he still hasn't published the call. So, Ethan, I'm waiting for you to publish this call because I went off. I went crazy. I was like, guys, there were all these people in the truth scene saying, oh, there's going to be a mass die-off. These injections are going to kill all these people. And I believe they turned out to be wrong. I don't think there was any mass death thanks to the injections. I never believed in it. I never said it was going to happen. And I think the evidence says I was right. What do you think, Boogieman? Do you think the injections killed a bunch of people? Because, fakeologists, Frank the Salt guy and certain other people, they're like, oh, there's a mass excess death. The injections are killing people. They've been talking about this for literally years now, trying to put the idea in your head and my head and all their listeners' heads that all these people are going to die. And I don't think it happened, Boogieman. What do you think about this?
I don't know. I just know that I had a lot of people telling me, oh, such and such died. I even had a close friend of mine who died. Now he had health issues. You know what I mean? Like he was like very overweight, and I never really got to the bottom of like the official reason, like his official cause of death or whatever. But I just know back then, 3 years ago, people were saying, "Oh, such and such died," or this and that, and I don't know. Like, if anything, I don't know. Maybe the hospital, maybe those the ventilator things, maybe that was killing some people. Like they were putting them on them and they were dying that way. I don't know.
Okay, the ventilators, but that was March, April, May of
okay.
2020. That's different. What I'm talking about is the fakeologist people, and not just them. I'm not trying to pick on them, but there are some people who were there for years saying that, oh, the injections are going to lead to a mass die-off. That's what they were saying. Okay, I've got the documents, I've got the receipts. That's what they were saying. I look around my reality, my environment. I don't see lots of people dying. I know some people who took the injections. They're not dead. I don't see this mass die-off. I think that's bullshit. I think these people were basically pre-witnessing false death to murder. And I'm pinning that to their soul. What do you say about this, Boogieman?
Good. He has nothing to add. What I would like to say though about the
hold on. What do you mean?
you have nothing to add, but
hold on,
there's-
Dave.
you're-
I promise we'll go to you in 2 minutes. Let's give Boogeyman a chance.
we already heard this three
him.
times.
I'm asking Boogeyman, what do you think about this idea that certain people were false witnessing death ahead of time, and the death never happened? It was like pre-false witness to death. It was false witness to pre-death. What do you think about this?
I think it's classic conspiratard horseshit, right? Like that's what it's like Alex Jones, right? Like he's like the classic example of people, scaremonger, fear porn, whatever, like how Bill Cooper called him out on this, 20 years ago or more, 25 years ago, whatever. So yeah, it's bullshit. Just most of it, like it's paranoid. Like your whole thing with the paid shows. Yes, like it's paranoid and delusional to think that there's paid shills out there to discredit anyone individually, right? Like, yeah, you obviously have.
Well, in fairness, you did call me a paid shill. You did call me a paid shill. You left a comment, Boogeyman, calling me a paid shill a day ago. You did do that.
Yeah, but I explained myself, and it's like a joke. It's like I'm half serious, right? Like I don't think that you are some type of government operative, right? I'm just saying.
Well, I should hope not. If they're paying me, they should be paying me a lot more. I'm not getting paid anywhere near enough to do what I do. Let's go to Dave J. Let's go to Dave J. Dave, fakeologists, I'm not trying to pick on them, but this is true. This is a fact. They have certain people for years now.
I heard the question.
Okay, what do you think about this? What do you think about this?
Okay, so here's the thing first. COVID-19 is a hoax. There is no different type of cold or flu and all this other stuff. I have a book from the 70s called Symptoms, which I put up on Twitter, a few of the pages, which showed the same exactly word for word the so-called symptoms and duration that people are talking about. So it's that I just want to put aside. That's all nonsense. Now, I know nobody who died, and nobody got hurt from COVID-19, period. Now, you want to talk about injections. That's something completely different, because that injection was not fighting COVID-19, because that's a hoax. So it was doing something else. Now, what was it doing? Was it killing people? Not that I know of. I know no one who died from it. It did, however, mark them. And here's how I will tell you that. There's a population of people who have received that mark, that injection, and there is a population, and it's getting smaller by the day, who have not. That's the difference.
Okay, so for listeners who don't fully understand, are you saying that you believe the injections are
marked? I just got done telling you what they were. I got done telling you.
Do you believe more people have died, though? Do you believe the injections caused more?
No, I don't know. No, I'm saying that more people have gotten them than have not gotten them. And I'm saying one group is getting bigger every day, and that's the group that has gotten it, versus the group that has not gotten it. It is getting smaller every day.
Okay, so you don't think it's killing people, but you think it's giving them a mark, as in the mark of the beast, is what you're saying?
They are marked, correct. Now, let's talk about this. Can you tell me one person who has received the so-called vaccine who has not been marked by that vaccine?
Well, I don't know what you mean by mark. You mean mark as the beast is in that they don't get to go to heaven, is what you're saying?
They said that they got it, that the liquid went into them. Don't be daft. Anyone who put the liquid into them, is that liquid in them?
Okay, so you're asking me if they got the injection, did the liquid
go into them?
Well, I assume so, yeah.
Okay, so then if now I am saying, because I'm going to help you out here, I am saying that anyone who got that liquid put into them is marked. Now, here's the difference. Anyone who did not get that liquid put into them is not marked. There are two groups. Those that got it put into them, they are marked. Those that did not are not marked. That's my answer.
Okay, so you seem like you're being a little bit coy. The mark is in they don't get to go to heaven. Am I interpreting this properly?
No, I'm saying that they chose the mark because okay, let's talk about it. Why did someone choose the mark? What were they worried about? Were they thinking to themselves that they were going to die, possibly?
Nope. The ones that I know who got it, they got it for convenience to keep their job, or to be able. Because in Australia was pretty full on. If you didn't get their injection, the mark
for their job.
Well, or for the job, or just to be able to go shopping without problem. It was for convenience, basically. They didn't have to.
So they
didn't have to do
it. So they took the mark to live.
Yeah, well, to make it more convenient. Yeah.
Okay, let's follow that thought all the way through. Now, if they did not take it, what did they think was going to happen if they did not take it?
They might lose their job, or they can't go shopping.
They would lose their life. Life as they knew it would change.
Life as they knew it would change, yeah.
Okay, so they took the mark willingly.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes. Yep.
So that is now a choice they made.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah.
And they're marked. I'm simply saying.
Yeah, but what does that mean, Dave? Stop being coy. What does that mean? They're marked. What does that mean? What are you talking about?
It means that they allowed that idea to be put into them.
Okay, and then what's going to happen next?
Okay, let's say that they're marked with that idea, and that idea does not exist. Therefore, anyone associated with that idea will cease to exist in the end. They will simply dissipate.
All right, well, let's open this up to the panel. One more thing from the live chat, then we have to wrap this up. I'll go first to Boogie, then to Dave, then to Ethan. This comes to us from my main man. Okay, one more point real quick. Yeah, go.
John? Yeah, just because you don't understand what I'm saying doesn't mean it's not worth something.
No, I think I do understand what you're saying. I'm not sure the viewers do. I'm not sure the viewers do.
I think that they do. I actually think
okay, let me tell you what I think you're saying, and tell me if I'm wrong. I think what you're saying is spiritually, they've allowed something to go into their body, and spiritually, they've made a decision that will come with consequences down the line.
But physically also, because that liquid is real. It exists in this physical place.
But what's in the liquid? What's in it?
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. The idea is in the liquid. You took the idea of the liquid. It doesn't have to be anything. It's the idea you put it into you for a reason. Why? Oh, because I want my job. Why? Because, I think I'm going to live long. It doesn't matter what reason. They still put the idea into them. They weren't sticking a watermelon in their arm. They went there and they rolled their sleeve up and they got an injection with an idea in their head. That's what got injected.
Okay, fair enough. Well, guys, we have to wrap this up. So I've got one more comment from the live chat, and I want all of your opinions, all three of you. Then we're going to wrap up tonight. But if you guys enjoyed this, we can do this again next week or in 2 weeks. We can organise this. I think the viewers enjoyed it, but we do have to... It's 3 o'clock until then. I have to wrap this up. So before we go to the final topic, let's go to Ethan. This idea, I've asked Boogieman, I've asked Dave J, that the injection's going to cause a mass die-off. I never liked it. I never saw the evidence for it. It never happened in my reality. And I don't like this idea of people pretending that they never said this. If you tell me that my parents or my friends are going to die from an injection, and then they don't die, I think you've done something wrong. And I think some people, Ethan, not me and not you, but some other people, they did this. And I explained on your podcast a week ago why I've got a big problem. And I'm not going to pretend it never happened, Ethan. I've got the documents, I've got the receipts. You know what I'm talking about. There were people, I'm not going to single them out because they're not here to defend themselves, but...
Name names.
Well, fakeologist.com, Frank the Salt guy, spent, 2 years? 2 years claiming there was mass excess death, Dave J? Never happened.
Still does.
He's still doing it. Let's go to Ethan from TT News. Ethan, what do you think about this? Do some people, should they be held to account for this? What do you think?
I think so, but this is something that you learn about the so-called truth movement, not just with this topic. There's a lot of characters out there, they just say the wildest things, and then next week they might contradict themselves, or a month later they carry on like nothing happened, and nobody goes back to check them. But you're right, John. I mean, from the start of this so-called pandemic, we had people saying it was the 5G towers making people sick, with that it was vaccines are going to kill everyone immediately. It was all these different reasons and conspiracies as to what's happening. And we were some of the only people that were saying, no, hang on a minute, it's all a hoax. And you and I did obviously a lot of work on this as well, talking about, I believe that the vaccines were a reproductive attack. It's more about humanely thinning the herd. This is what these Malthusian eugenicists like to do. In their minds, it's humanely controlling the population, and that's why we'll see increases in IVF. That's why we will see decreases in natural birth. It's the birth of this brave new world. But a lot of people, like, I could have been wrong about that too. People could have started dropping dead everywhere en masse, and then I could have been wrong about
Well, they
that.
still could, Ethan. And if they did, you and I would have a lot of egg on our face. But I don't think that's going to happen. But if it did, bro, if in a year's time, 10% of people who I know in my reality are dead, I would be the first to say, guys, I was wrong. But people are dying, right? But that hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened.
Exactly.
Has
It
it?
hasn't happened. And here's the thing, John. There's a lot of people out there, Dave spoke on this, that are still pushing this message. And not just for people that are vaccinated, for people that didn't even get the jab at all. They're saying, no, you are consuming it through your food. No, they're spraying it from the sky and you're being vaccinated. They're coming up with all of these theories and notions to even the people that didn't get the jab in this doomism category that you're going to drop dead as well. So, like, it's not just the reality of what we're seeing. It's that some of these people are doubling down, tripling down, and just digging themselves bigger and bigger holes, and they should be held to account, in my opinion. I think that's what true research and analysis is. I've always corrected my mistakes. You and I, John, have been wrong about certain elements of COVID. For instance, travel.
Yeah, I was
Coming
wrong.
up again.
Yeah, I thought travel as we knew it was never coming back. But let me tell you right now, it has come back. I was wrong. I
So
thought...
we admit that.
No, I fully admit it. 100%. And so these people who are claiming that there's going to be a mass die-off, dude, there were people sitting there at the Fakeologist live stream chats, audio chats. This is all documented, folks. This is all documented. I've got the documents, I've got the receipts, who were saying that there's going to be a mass die-off. 10% of people, 50% of people who got the injection are going to die. Some were claiming like all of them were going to die. And what that means is that if my parents or my friends or my colleagues got the injection, you're putting this idea in my brain that they're going to die. So if that turns out to be untrue, you see that what you've done is really not a very good thing. You've basically spiritually attempted. This is like spiritual attempted murder.
187.
Yeah, it's spiritual attempted murder, and these people are going to pretend it never happened.
Hey, John, just so you know, 100% of those people, though, are marked.
And that's where, Dave, your chat comes into it, because I believe there is more of a symbolic, deeper, spiritual nature to it. I did some work during the time sort of comparing the corona times, this time of apocalypse, to what we see in the story of the book of Revelation and the so-called disease and the locust that spreads, which is really a sickness of people's souls.
Yeah.
And you know, you see all, you know, corona, 666, you know, all of these gematria things that were going on. I do think there is a deeper spiritual element to this as well. You know, the beast, you watching the story, wages war on Michael, and Michael stands for he who is like God. You know, there is this, when you look at the metaphor of what Revelation is, and a lot of the Bible is just that same story told in different forms. It's the same story pretty much every chapter, almost, in different complex forms. But we are witnessing parallels to what is described in this story metaphorically and what is happening in terms of people's willingness to submit to this beast system. And when we're going towards transhumanism and sort of the end of the human, there is a deeper spiritual element to it in my estimation as well. But the jab solely, I believe, obviously, in addition to the symbolism and whatnot, I don't think they were meant to just kill everyone immediately. I think it's more of a reproductive thing, because the most anti-human thing you can do is make people not be able to breed for themselves and control the processes, not just of death, but of life and birth as well.
Oh, Revelation 3:11. When John brought this up when he talks about 3:11 as being the birth of the corona hoax. The idea of the corona is the crown. So Revelation 3:11, which is let no man steal your crown, which is let no man steal your truth, the thought. Once you know the truth for what it is, let no one come and deceive you. That's all that means. But it's Revelation 3:11, 3:11, and John knows the significance of that with corona. So that it's obviously not it's not a coincidence. It says, let no man steal your crown.
Yep, coming for your crown. So there is deeper elements in that sense that I think those with the eyes to see are meant to see. But when you look at it, it never made sense from the start that just everyone would just drop dead in a massive genocide, because even the most normie of normie would be like, why the hell is everyone dropping dead around me? So it's a, and I'm not saying there's not,
it's a different type. It's
collateral damage. And I'm not saying there's not collateral damage, you know what I mean? I know people that have got heart inflammations after getting it, cancers, they've got all of these things. I'm not saying
all that's body stuff. All that's body stuff, because even the Bible says if you seek, if all you're after is life, you'll lose it. So that it's got to be. It's more spiritual. It's more of the mind. It's where it's how many people. It's like how many people now actually believe in the lie versus before, when people think that there's an awakening. I don't think so. I think that I think more and more people are getting more in tune with the so-called world, because for convenience reasons, like John brought up earlier, those people who got the injection for convenience reasons.
Oh, how often do you hear, Dave? How often do you hear people saying, people are waking up? And I've been saying for years now, that's a hoax. That's not real. People are not waking up. Yeah, it's a hoax. But we have to wrap this up, guys. We can do this again. If you guys want to come back, I think Boogieman's been well behaved. Dave, you've been well behaved. Me and Ethan, I think we've been well behaved. We can do this again, but we have to wrap this up. It's 3 o'clock local. I'm going to go to Boogieman for his final thoughts, then Dave J, then Ethan. Then we're going to wrap this up. If you want to keep talking after we finish the live show, I'm happy to do that. But the live show has to end. Thank you to all 3 of you, Boogieman, Dave J, and Ethan, for being on the show. But it's 3 o'clock local. I have to go and record a podcast with Hando tomorrow. Let's wrap this up. So, Boogieman, we'll go to you first. Please don't attack me, Dave, or Ethan. Dave, please don't attack Boogieman, me, or Ethan. Ethan, please don't attack Boogieman, Dave, or me. Let's all just give our final thoughts for this show. If you guys want to come back, we can do it again. I would love to do this again, but for this show, I have to wrap it up. So let's go first to Boogieman. Your final thoughts for this show. Thank you for being here. You and I disagree on many things, but we can come here and talk as men, give our opinions. The audience enjoys it. That's very important. So, Boogieman, your final thoughts for this show.
Well, the most important thing, John, is that we agree on a lot, and we can find common ground, right? So, although we might disagree on some things, we can always come back and find some common ground and build from there for the show's sake, to make some content. So, I'm available usually around this time every evening. So, we'll have to do it again sometime soon. In regards to Dave J, I've had plenty of good chats with Dave J and had good talks with him. So I think moving forward, if we can just agree to drop the ad hominems, maybe we could talk again. But as far as I can see it from here, I think it's I'm just gonna leave it there. So I don't.
Boogieman, those are good final thoughts, man. I appreciate it. We'll stay in touch. Let's go to Dave J. You and I disagree on many things, Dave J. You've also accused me. Boogieman accused me of being a paid shill. You've gone on Twitter, Dave J, and said some things about me. Guess what? I don't care. I care about the good stuff. You've done some good stuff, Dave J. I appreciate you being here. Your final thoughts for this show.
Yeah. None of that matters. So, anyways, none of you would know anything about me. You would nothing I've ever done. You would have come into contact with if it were not for one reason, and that is my Lord Jesus Christ, my God, saved me from hanging from a tree, right, by my neck until dead. He said, no, don't do that. And I said, why then? Are you going to show me? Are you going to show me what's true? And then, yes, that night, that happened. Personal revelation, which is everything I'm telling you now.
Wasn't it going for a swim, Dave J? Wasn't it you were at the beach and you were going to go and kill yourself in the beach?
No, that's not true.
No, different story.
That's not true. No, I've never said that.
You can't remember.
Sorry, I had to
I've
mute.
never
I had
said
to
that.
mute
I think you're
Boogieman. I had to mute Boogieman.
No, you're
Sorry,
conf-
Boogieman. I had to mute you. I had to give Dave J his final thoughts.
You're
So it was.
confusing. You're confusing. Hold on. You're confusing a story in the Philippines when I was swimming, and I couldn't. And I all of a sudden I couldn't move my arms and my legs, and I felt like I was sinking. And my brother-in-law had to help me pull out of the water. That's what you're talking about.
Okay.
That's a different
if I'm confused,
story.
I apologize. Okay, fair enough. I'll have to go
No,
back and
you are
double check.
confused.
Okay, fair enough.
You are confused, and you did it for a reason. Let people out there see that your intent was not true at that moment. Anyways, nothing. And there's 3 witnesses: my wife to my story, and my friend Larry, and my friend Robert, all of whom I called that night, and I told them what happened. So you'll be standing against them, also. All right? Don't you ever do that again, John. That was not fair. That was not.
I'm not trying to be a smart
that was
ass.
not-
I remember our chat from your appearance on the member call very well. It's one of my favorite member calls of all time, and I just thought the story was you were at the beach and you were very frustrated with your life, and you were looking for a
that
reason.
There was 2. You're mixing up 2 different. I just
It wasn't ill intent. I wasn't trying to be a dickhead to you. If that's what you
one
think.
was in the Philippines. The water one was in the Philippines, and the tree one was in my front yard. There's no water in my front yard.
Okay, well, if I was wrong, I apologize, but I wasn't trying to be a dickhead, if that's what you think. I'm being quite serious. I listened to your words, so if I got one wrong, I'm sorry about that.
No, but it was a pretty big thing that you did right there. I'm just going to leave it at that, and others can judge your intent.
I'll let them do that. Let's go to Ethan for his final words. Ethan, I'm sorry I didn't thread you more, but having Boogieman and Dave J, which, by the way, those 2 were very well behaved. I was afraid they were going to, attack each other, but they were both pretty cool, and they've both got good stuff to share. So
Don't talk past your station, John.
I won't talk past my station. Ethan, your final thoughts for this chat, which never should have happened, but here I am in Estonia. Glad to be here. Ethan, your final thoughts.
It's been fun, yeah. It's been really good, John. Good to jump on and have a little bit of a chat. I would have liked to have got maybe into the technical side. I know Dave is more like, summarize what you mean in one sentence, but for people maybe like Boogieman, who might have disagree, maybe get into the nitty-gritty of what's happening, who are sides, what the history of things, but maybe we can do that again some other time. It's been really good. I enjoy these late night truth lounges, mate. It's brings me back to some of the old days with the Sunday sessions and whatnot. So
it is, isn't it? It's like
show.
the Sunday session days back in 2014, right? We would do the official ARP, which was like totally professional, have your notes, have your plans, and then we would do the Sunday sessions, which was just have a few beers or whatever, have fun. Do you remember how we used to get more views for the Sunday sessions than the ARP? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And we started to realise
everyone...
people don't give a shit about your research or your notes or your scientific studies. They don't give a shit. They just want people sitting around having a chat, having fun. That's what they want. That's what people care about.
Yeah. Yeah.
We should have heeded. We should have realised back then that was the path forward. Stop taking this stuff so seriously. Just have fun. I think we fucked up, Ethan. I think we fucked up big time.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda, mate. But it is good vibes to be back and have these sort of weekly chats that you're having. So I really enjoyed it. It's good to be on a platform where ideas can flow freely and we can disagree on things but agree on other things, and that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
So when is our chat? Because I came onto your platform a week ago. When is that? Because I've been checking your website every day, twice a day in fact, waiting for this upload. When is our chat? Because we got into some heavy topics, Ethan. Very heavy. Parents. Is it a good idea to be parents? If you are a parent, should you send them to school? Are these people who talk about the elites being evil, but they still send their kids to school? Are they hypocritical? Very heavy stuff. Good stuff, I think. I've been looking forward to the upload, but it hasn't happened yet. What's going on?
Well, John, you might be used to editing 5+ hour podcasts, but I'm definitely not. So it's definitely coming as quick as I can. I've just been preparing for this event and obviously have to do other news almost daily. So I'm getting there. But it was a fantastic chat. And yeah, if anyone wants
before you go, hold on. You brought up a very good point there. You've got a big conference coming up in Adelaide. Are you in Adelaide right now? How far away are you from getting to the location?
Be heading out on Friday morning.
Are you flying or driving?
Just flying down.
Oh yeah, who are you flying with?
They gave, they gave me some cash to fly down, mate. So I did
Qantas.
the old budget. No, that's too expensive these days, mate. Not paying that much.
How much is a flight from Melbourne to Adelaide? Oh, no, Melbourne. You're from Brisbane. How much is a flight from Brisbane to Adelaide?
Well, some of them are $375 plus one way.
Holy shit, dude! It's less than that from Bulgaria to Tallinn, and that's through Turkey. I had to go through Turkey to get here.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, the cool thing about Turkey
it's
Airport,
crazy.
man, I feel so tall. Like, you're taller than me. I don't know how tall you are. You're like 6'2" or something. I'm only 5'11". But when you walk through Turkey Airport at 5'11", you feel like a monster. They're all so small in that airport. I felt like a monster walking around. It was crazy. Had a great time. Had a 3-hour layover. Dude, everything's so expensive. Like, a single bottle of water, $3, man. That's for a cheap bottle of water. You want some food? $15 minimum, dude. Crazy. It was insane.
Well, I know you've got some little romanticisms about coming back to Australia one day and having a visit and whatnot, mate. But on our little island here, things got very expensive after they reopened after all of the world's longest lockdowns everywhere, and it was shut all the flights down, and Qantas, like so many regional airlines, just went bust and everything, and now everything is just an arm and a buck. And I think that's part of the agenda I talk about quite a bit about in the future. Only the richest and elitists will be able to travel while we save the planet and not be able to afford it. But while I can, thankfully they were able to get me down for it. But even then, I just had to pick some crazy times, because even for Jetstar it was 400 one way, 400 one way. It's getting a little bit harder to live down on this little isolated island.
Are you flying out of Brisbane or out of the Gold Coast?
Out of Brisbane.
I've never been to the Gold Coast airport, to tell you the truth. Brisbane's alright.
Tiny.
Brisbane's alright.
Yeah.
Well, dude, this
Lots
might be the
more
last time I
than-
speak to you before your presentation, so good luck at the conference. And I look forward to a debrief after the fact. And I know you're busy, but I really look forward to your upload of our chat last week with you, me and Herman, because that was epic. I'm looking forward to it. And
Yeah,
if I can
absolutely,
get Dave J, my very special truth uncle Dave J, or the Boogeyman back, I hope he can come back. Because I feel bad for not throwing to you more, but Dave and Boogeyman have to give him the platform. So if I can get them back, you'll come back, yeah?
Absolutely. Yeah,
No, I look
it was
forward to
good
it.
Fun.
I look forward to it. Well, I'm going to wrap this up. I want to say big thanks to all the people who make this possible here at johnthebond.com. They know who they are. I'm here in beautiful Tallinn, Estonia. If any Estonians are listening to this, I'm here in town for a week. I put my phone number, my Estonian phone number, in the show notes. You can call me or message me. We'll organise a meetup for Thursday here in Estonia. But apart from that, this is johnthebond.com and Late Night Truth Lounge. Trying to give people something to listen to. And I hope they enjoyed it. We've had Boogeyman, the crazy Boogeyman, my crazy truth uncle Dave J. I'll put my chat with Dave J in the show notes below. One of the best member calls of all time, where Dave J explained, I think I need to explain this to you again. When I say that war is a hoax, what I mean by that is this army is going this way, and this army is going that way. Nobody died, nobody got hurt. It's a classic. Most of the member calls are only for members. That's one of the few that I make public. I think everyone needs to hear it. Go to the show notes. Go and check it out. I'm going to give Ethan the final thoughts for this call. So Ethan, when you finish talking, I'm going to press stop publishing, stop recording, whatever. Ethan gets the final thoughts. I'll put a link to TOTT News in the show notes below as well. Guys, go and check it out. This guy's doing very good work. He's exposing what he calls the conflict. Okay? If you take the side of Israel, or if you take the side of the Palestinians, you've been played, because there's a very elaborate hoax going on. And I'll leave it at that. Thank you, Boogeyman. Thank you, Dave J. Thank you, Ethan. The floor is yours, Ethan.
Yes.
Take it away.
Thank you to everyone out there for listening. If I encourage everyone just to be a little bit more skeptical of some of the things that are coming through your monolith. If you haven't questioned it so far, it's not being a Zionist shield, it's not shielding for Israel. It's sort of understanding that the entire operation is that same Israeli Zionist order. Even the so-called other side, which was taken over and corrupted many, many years ago, probably before a lot of us were even born. And what we see now is just the aftermath, the show of it. And just think of yourself, who benefits, look at other things like maybe population statistics. Why does Palestine keep growing? So much involving the war hoax, and it doesn't just start here. You can go back to the playwrights of World War II, Stanley, as Dave J said, probably even before that, to Civil War times and whatnot. If you're new to the idea, just have a little bit of a look, open your mind a little bit more to what you're seeing on your screens, and if we all do that, I think we'll be good for the future. So thank you to everyone for listening. Stay sharp out there. Don't be deceived by anything. And we'll catch you all in the next one. Thank you, everyone. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, cheers, guys. Let me just put a stop to
Cheers.
the streaming. Stop.